All right, Riot Games Arena, it's time to get this show on the road, and let's bring out your first team. Put your hands together for Leviathan.
Today, this is the chance for them to secure that first seed in playoffs. Again, if they get that first seed, they only have to win one more match before qualifying to London. This team has so much to prove now that they're playing against this Loud team. They have a lot of the firepower. They have all the potential. Yeah. They just need a little bit of these things to fix. Small games from when they played against the other team that they played, making sure that they get a lot of those small mistakes underlined, because the amount of firepower, the amount of talent that this team has, it kind of goes unmatched on paper.
Yeah. No, we heard King talking about that earlier. After the loss, they went back and said, what do we do? How do we fix this? They seem like they have good heads on their shoulders, but so do their opponents as they make their way to the stage. Welcome to it. You have Loud.
And Loud, this is a team that we didn't really know what was going to happen towards the beginning of the stage, but now they have secured playoffs and they're trying to warm up, be ready for that potential Masters London. This is a team that, with the addition of Erde, looks like a completely new one, renewed, energetic, and with more potential than we've ever seen be hoped for these individual players. They last week got a win against Cloud9, and that felt like was just the starting point for all of the potential that they can have.
Yeah, and even though it was like a lot of people would look at that win and say like, yeah, you know, they pulled off a win against Cloud9. Cloud9 were also in a really unique situation, coming in with some new firepower too. So it really was just a question of who was going to step up in that moment, right? And as your first time in the field. And what he ended up getting was Erde, and leading the charge with this team was brilliant.
I mean, for this VCT Americas stage where anyone can beat anyone, it is literally anyone's game every single time that we step into the server. But we're going to go into these maps here. Leviathan picking that bind first, followed by the Breeze. What do you think, Dan?
I think this map of bind is interesting because we haven't really seen it for Loud. Well, and it felt like in the past week we've seen a lot more bind.
The last time was like kickoff.
Yeah, the first couple of weeks everybody was avoiding it, and now for Loud is, you know what, let's bring it back and kickoff like you said for Loud. They were still playing with Mankata, obviously very different team, very different vibe. And Leviathan, though, recently played it against Envy and won 13-4. But I think this should be a little bit of a different story. That was an Envy that, well, before yesterday, that was the fastest game that we had.
That was in the rankers. You know, they had to play them.
I think it should be a lot closer, and like you said, Athena, earlier before, this should be a very explosive game.
Yeah, and I think when I'm thinking of explosives, I'm thinking of Breeze, because that map, we saw Loud be insane on that map. They're so good. It was a close game against C9, but they're overall 3-0 on this map. This is kind of their bread and butter, so I'm looking at them to make sure that they close that one out, because Leviathan, they haven't won this map a single time so far this year. So it's going to be really interesting. But jumping into that bind, we have the Neon and the Phoenix, which I actually really like.
Yeah, I kind of like this one here. You know, of course, you know, tried and true Brim on bind, right? It's such an iconic duo.
Yeah, and even for the Phoenix as well, for Sato, before last week, he had 100% win rate on this stage, and he has been incredible. So going back to it on this map, it just feels like it's something that suits him and the team really, really well.
Straightforward composition, love to see it. On the other side, though, got some changes, got some mix-ups here, and I like seeing Luxio on that chamber.
I think this makes sense because Loud, they've struggled before in the past when they did play this. Again, they haven't played it since that kickoff. We've only seen them play it with the Yoru, and obviously that's not really viable unless you're Exter. That's fine, it's back. But this makes a lot of sense for me. I'm looking actually at LEV to make sure they solidify almost this win, because it feels like both these maps are so one-team sided the first couple maps that I'm expecting a third into this.
I'm really excited to see it. I think especially going to be a lot of momentum early on, and who's going to be able to carry it, especially because, again, we haven't really seen this map for Loud. And I know for a second we saw that right at the top it said Batty in the middle. No, I promise you it's not Batty, it's actually Erde, the one who's playing. I know, if you miss maybe a couple weeks you might be confused, but yeah, Erde should be there, he's back.
Yeah, and I think also one thing to keep in mind is Bind isn't going to be in playoffs. This map is going to be gone in that rotation. So a lot of these players are probably either really, really done working on it. They're like, we don't need to learn anymore on this map. We need to get ready for a set. But I mean, maybe they still have a lot of those creative strats that they haven't shown yet in their back pocket.
And I'm excited to see it too, because last week we got the chance to see Loud, and we got the chance to see Erde for the first time in VCT Americas. But something that we didn't really get the chance to talk about is how it was Onur who used to be the coach for LEV back in LEV Academy alongside Sato, alongside Blozin.
Yeah.
That is the reason why Kesnet is who he is today, why King is who he is today, why Masino is who he is today. He is incredible, like you said before, a player development. And so, but he also, because he got the IGL and coach, they work together, they know each other pretty well.
I think we need an owner counter of how many rookies
So
he's
many.
brought to the stage.
Yeah, very influential, as you heard in that coach's interview as well. Of course, folks, it is now time to start the action. Let's head into our first pistol round of the day and send it over to your casters. Here's Rivington and Van Silly.
We're definitely ready for the action. It's time for the match. Before we get on to Bind, got a few things on the list to go through. The fact that Lev's ready to get themselves into playoffs with this one. They want that win, but Loud's also hungry. There's still a position they can jockey with here.
There's also a scenario somehow that Leviathan could get 4th seed going into playoffs after this game. And that's if Loud is able to win 2-0 today against Leviathan. So that's why the Des was saying this matchup is super important to try to get that #1 seed going to playoffs, which means 1 win in the playoffs will get you to London.
It is time for that match start presented by Samsung OLED as we head on to Bind to see how these teams are going to play up against each other. We heard the agents being talked about a bit before. See if Luxo can show up on this chamber as well, as it's going to be imperative for that attack side to, I think, pick apart Lev a little bit with how slow they are to their sights if they aren't doing this kind of move down B long.
And some standard stuff for Leviathan to really try to push and go for these group fights, take some long B control, take the orb for the side of Satko as well. But let's think about it from Loud side. They haven't played this in stage 1 yet, so this is a new comp coming out for them. Verdi going on this raise instead of playing the Yura from the kickoff, of course, because of the nerfs. So let's see if this will help out now for Loud, moving in now towards his B site.
Space given at A, but it seems to be all about B for the time. Nice little dog check over towards right side. I think I got an eye on Luke Show. And they're just going to swap the site for this moment. Oh, nobody else actually jumps out. They give Spike time to fight that one, and Verdi goes down in the process. Still walking around as much as they can.
And the issue of not having a buddy system there, you can't instantly trade out Spike. Only had 10 HP remaining, and now he's healed back up and has enough HP to win another fight. And the lurk.
Another 1v1. And they peek again, though. They get the advantage on this. Looks like Erode could have been covered too as well.
Boy, this is super nice. If you don't make any noise right now, you're forcing their TPs. That's huge.
No way. One stays.
Wait, blows your TP too. Now they have full info on the 4 TPs from Leviathan, and it could set up. So Luke shows in a prime position to stop them on the rotate. Yet, Lev going through the TP again.
Oh, are they going to know Erode's here? One for him. The trade comes through. Are they going to be able to get the back line? Luke Show tries to get into sight first,
Beautiful
and
flash.
they should be able to just swamp this, right? Another flash hits them square in the eyes. And now they just look, keeping one on high. It's Neon and Hookah. That's the pistol round going in for Leviathan.
And that's the tough part when you're looking at Verdi's responsibility here as that tip of the spear for Loud. You need a little bit of that buddy system to come out for the trade, especially when you made it out so silently, and there was never any pressure coming out from Leviathan to get information in the mid-round towards Hookah.
Yep.
You have to expect there's some pressure out towards Long. Get that system in, get that buddy in to allow yourself to get a better opening towards that site. But they almost made it possible here with how they broke angles for Loud by having these lurkers up towards that A site. But Leviathan still scores up on top with the pistol round. Look at his force buy.
Stingers with a Marshall for where? Still towards Showers. They get a repeat on. I like it. Neon looking for chip damage through his own smoke to start this one off.
You could wait it out here for a good 20 seconds if you wanted to here, because you still want to get the potential Luke Show moving up to get a headshot with that Marshall. So you could start moving in and taking over sites with these Stingers. Instead, everybody's rotating towards this B site. The jiggle is good here for Blows. He sees a couple. That initiates Loud to go a little bit more quickly towards his B site.
Not a lot of delay here, so this is going to be Loud taking the site. Hookah is covered. Let's see if they can get the plant down and keep it safe. It feels weird since they can't really see what's around them, and that's just going to be Lev setting up for the retake. So the push through maybe from Loud gets stopped right at the front door. In goes Spike Z, and they get the judge down as well. And now
Doable.
Loud's trying to turn it. It is doable. Erode and Verdi looking for where the last one could be. And King now trying to reset, reload, making a bunch of noise, so he almost has to cut it and reset the situation. Quick peek. Looks like they're both just going to take this off the smoke. No, they let it dissipate. Stinger's not penning much here. 7 HP, or 7 in the
left.
mag, 13 HP. This would be huge for Verdi to grab here, and needs a little bit of room for Loud to grow in this game because Lev's already gonna have the advantage. King gets a third, and he knows, bring it on.
The repositioning from King was way too good here. Never expected by Verdi. After he did the damage onto King and forced him to fall back, he thought he had the advantage by repositioning himself, but lost a little bit of his opponent in the field of view. Unfortunate too, that was probably his 13th occasion in the clutch throughout this whole stage for Verdi, but unfortunately couldn't capitalize on this one. King also is making it known. And that was an expensive round here for Loud. Remember, it was a Stinger buy with the Marshall. They couldn't get the plant down too because of Leviathan being very quick to flood off the double duelist in the back of that site. So Loud will have to go for a full eco this round.
Neon taunting this Bulldog through the smoke for 2 rounds now. Gets Luke Shaw on the second time around. And now Loud's committed to this B side of the map unless they use a lot of util to re-clear. That'll help a little bit.
Adding another one to the tally here as an opener for Verdi. Actually quite up there in the column of the first kills, close to even Jogimo and Zekin.
Great delay. King switching to site to make sure they have a bit more time to buy for Lev to get into position from this one. Whoa, a lot of smoke's going down. A little blind for Spike's aim, but he's able to clear his eyes there with a quick rub. And Neon's able to come up with 3 quickly, but also patiently taken back by Lev there as they knew they had the time that they were bought from King's Snakebite.
Ends up being a good damaging round for Loud onto Leviathan for that one too. Things kind of stay normal. It's almost as if Leviathan won their bonus round, and now we'll see Loud go back into a bye. Good eliminations round coming through here for that second and third round for Leviathan, only getting the plant for Loud on that pistol. But they've done a nice little entry so far towards this long B site. This is twice now that they walk contact into the corner. They expect a Jiggle Peek coming out from Blows, who's been so good in this spot. Remember, he was laser beaming his opponents when they were playing on this map last time around for Leviathan. He was definitely an unstoppable force. This time looking to get challenged one more time. It's Verdi at the point.
The economy's so good, you see him sitting with the Guardian still, ready to stay back, play with the money a little bit, and yeah, he's gonna play his life. Goes for the clear, run it back, comes through, and Sato's gonna make quick work of Erde. Nice swarm of the site coming in from Loud, but it's already Lev starting to pinch them in from every side here, and the Spike, unsure if it's safe to plant, they go for a little bit more util clear to make that confirmation.
Yeah, no choice. You got to plant right now. You know that they're encroaching towards the back.
They're still getting stopped. They don't know. They're trying to just bait the plants out at this point. They know they have 50 seconds, so it's a lot of time to work with, and they're going to choose to take a fight instead. Getting on hard angles towards the spawn. Re-cleared by Neon. Backs himself up, coming all the way over from Showers to do a bit more work here on the B side and help the squad take it back. Lev 4 in a row from the defensive side.
Right now, the protocols for Leviathan 2 has been amazing. You just talked about it, Riv, the amount of times they're able to delay these plants, but at the same time, understanding where the gaps could be. Loud had a decent idea. They knew the pressure was coming towards Elbow when they lost that fight on that side. They knew they were getting double flanked, so they're like, okay, maybe we can push towards the spawn and then try to plant on the A side. Yet, Neon stays all the way back at this position right here to not allow for them to move forward into the spawn, and then the value that Sato is getting on flashes, on kills. They got to find a way to stop this man.
And it looks like they will just try to stop the momentum a little bit. Calling through a timeout coming into the 5th round here. Just punishing rounds. The second round bye for Loud's obviously going to throw them off a bit. So they got to figure out what that next win condition is as they all start to come online.
Yeah, and you definitely see Leviathan just stepping up right now every time they win a round and looking across the stage.
Yeah.
Although this is a rivalry for a good seeding for Loud if they can potentially make it to the 3rd seed, but most importantly for Leviathan to guarantee the 1st seed if they finish here 4-1 in this stage 1. But they talked about that history at the desk here, Riv, the ex-teammates between Sato and Luke Show. So you know there's going to be a little bit of banter going on through there. Erde that has to play against Blows and Neon from the Leviathan Academy. And of course, the coach duels, the coach battles, right? Owner coming in from Lev Academy, but then also Romanilli that has had experience and guidance from Owner in the past.
Yeah, we just heard about that a little bit ago.
Lots of the Padawan looking for something to prove on the side of Loud, for sure. At least they found some success in this stage here, somehow guaranteeing to make it to playoffs. That's nothing that we were expecting when we were looking at the first few matches of Loud this stage.
Neon has been very forward in this position on Showers, and it looks like the rest of the team's going to join. The distraction's enough for Neon, clearing 2 as LEV now just turn around knowing they have the right side of A, and it's going to be very uncomfortable to try to get that spike back for Loud. Oh, he's going to self-cook.
I guess he gets less damage out of that one, right, when you flush him out, but he's just pushed him away. Gives a chance right now for Loud to reset, though, because the amount of util that was used by LEV to hold that spike was a lot of smokes, blaze walls. All of that is disappeared and gone. So Loud can now group up and do the walk glitch and see if they could get an opener here on a duel.
Hit that corner with a molly if they're really... Oh, no, they're going showstopper.
Forget the walk glitch.
Right past him. Okay, Neon goes down. That's beautiful from Birdie to come up with 3, and it's exactly what Loud needs right now, coming out of this timeout, to be able to put one in the win column. Darker follows up onto blows, and there it is left here as King tries to get a little funky with this one, and there it is having none of it. Loud come up with their first round.
And now they have a chance to stand up and look across the stage with smiles. And that's going to feel good for sure with how dominant it's been for Leviathan since the beginning of this game. And they're able to answer back with nice redemption off the space that Verdi takes. He almost got caught off guard there by Neon, but was just very flicky for that first kill. Wins 2 individual 1v1s. Gives that chance for Loud to come in and go for that plant.
It's a beautiful turnaround on that, especially losing 2 right away to be able to convert still. Very smartly done there by Loud.
Yeah, Owner's not happy with that one either, because they've lost that spike on the side of Loud instantly. And Leviathan, they go for a little bit of a change of pace. They went for double duelists to peek out towards that Sands, expecting maybe Loud for a default split towards his B site. They caught a bit of Verdi, who's forced to fall back to re-heal for a sec, but Loud has a chance to reset now. They have Seekers also to start opening sites. And I talked about walk glitches, though. They're actually using their ultis a lot to try to get info and space. And they're instantly doing it towards this A site.
Holding still towards Showers. They're going to keep coming through the teleporter to bring that power back to A instantly and try to give LEV a lot of trouble out of U-Haul here. They just almost saw Spike. Verdi did catch a blink of that. But nobody wants to give up the first kill here. This is where it gets tight.
It's that Brimmy smoke that's annoying. So what you're going to try to do here is for Lucho to get a backstab. If he gets the opener perfect, they can execute towards this A site. If not, late TP back towards B. But it's Verdi on the top perch that gets the opener onto Sato.
Turned around. The time's a bit reset for the flanks, but it's still going to be power in numbers as they charge through Showers once again. This could be a really cool 2-pronged attack to activate from U-Haul as well. Neon making up for last round, and he puts a cherry on the top with a 3rd one in Showers. I don't think they're getting the spike back this time. Darker's still going to try his hand. 60 HP here, and Spike's able to just swing it to pull it right back in the favor and reset Loud.
Very nice for Neon. Just stepping into similar positions here. He likes to hug that wall inside the Showers, and unfortunately you're seeing it from this POV right here on the replay. Peeking one by one. I guess all of them really had their crosshair placed towards the entrance of Showers instead of going for the 3-2-1. Let's really try to push as a group and try to get maybe a little bit more of a wide swing, and Neon's just able to ISO a couple of these fights very easily.
Yeah, he's been in there every round, so they know.
Yeah.
He's just doing the work.
Yeah, remember the missed showstopper by Verdi. Still hugging that wall in that spot, so they have to start identifying that here for Loud. That's a kill through the smoke. That's unfortunate to start the round for Lucio, who's been fairly quiet this game so far when you're counting a lot on somebody like Lucio to be the closer for the team for Loud.
Yeah. We'll get the Tour de Force online next round. Might be able to clear a few of those lines that really open the space to get that momentum going. Because again, Lever always playing a flip side. They're not playing back B. They're ready to TP. They're ready to hold long. And it might be that situation again. As King actually, they do start to trail back in. Oh, he missed that one. Can they repair this? Oh my God, it doesn't even matter. Cowanzine with the bend, it's going to be able to get a little bit of damage, but the Molly mission just goes to show that the aim is online for Lev right now, even if the utility's not hit.
But they did talk about it. Cowanzine being one of those players stepping up to the plate here as another closer for the team. Fully flashed. Not going to be easy. Not easy at all. Dude, Sato's flashes has been so annoying. If you're looking for the POV of Loud, they're getting hit by everything too. Every single time.
One enemy remaining.
You're crazy. I'm glad they're kind of faded out for us because we actually wouldn't see anything as viewers. That's just how good they are right now. All of them are hitting. Really playing Valorant out there. King is excited right now, and you know those are going to be popping the calls up a little bit more. He's active in the comms. Everybody's feeling that momentum.
Yep.
Especially Neon, 12-2 on the Brimstone. That's his showers.
And the crazy thing is that most of the times he's doing this solo, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's really no util on that side for Loud except for the context that we see, or they crunch from this side here on B site whenever Neon's feeling that pressure. So again, the protocol is there for Leviathan.
Nice reaction from Darker. Returning fire there as Spike tries to get a little cheeky down long. And they slow it down. We did say Luke Show was going to be getting the Tour de Force soon. We'll have to get a point for that. And I wonder if they look to work a kill on the left side of the map so he can find it as a lurk.
See, I like this, that we're walking back and re-clearing for the side of Loud. What I'd like to see a little bit more, though, is maybe work the late round inserts into showers, too, so you can have a plan of escape if you're getting stalled here towards this B site.
Yeah. They are kind of committing to that one side and losing a bit of knowledge in the process. So now it's the hookah hold with King in sight. We'll have a bit of delay. Let's see how Loud reacts to this one. Ultimate goes down from Darker if they get in here, I would assume. They really start to make Lev second guess taking it right away. A little delay is already in sight, so that space is gained. Sato taking one down quick, and it doesn't look like Verdi stayed up high too long. They're back into sight, trying to gain each other's anchor points and fire on these trades. Lev now 2-2. Just calms down, the dust settles a bit, and nobody wants to do anything until that spike has made noise in the plant position. Neon on one, blows on the second one, instantly finding out where Loud is. They are, in the middle of these fights, they're calming it down and disappearing, making it feel weird for Loud, and then coming back in for the finishing touches if they didn't get it right away.
Yeah, and the reads are good, the calls are great, the stall is even better, so that every single time that Loud is getting stalled and looking to re-hit, there's always going to be somebody else to trade instantly here. No hookah control that you see from that round. Again, no real inserts that you have from any of these lanes outside of where the main pressure is coming from for Loud. And that's going to call already this second timeout. And again, this is what I like to see, maybe going back potentially to the basics for Loud here. I'm down to see a 3-1-1 if they can.
Yeah.
Get some value off of Darker lurking up towards the short side wall on A, because you haven't really seen any real pressure come out from Leviathan by pushing those lanes with how they're currently playing around Spike and Sato as it's a double duelist. What really happens here is if Loud is making a lot of noise towards showers, they're getting crunched from long B side. If they're going to slow things down on the shower side, Neon puts the smoke down for 20 seconds. So you have a chance now to have Luke Show just wait that and battle that 1v1 against Neon on that side, and still add pressure on this B site to make sure that you're not going to get crunched by the blow splash, the Spike Zeta and Sato TPs onto the showers, and it allows for you to work the map a little bit more here. Lev, despite it being 7-1, you're still giving a lot of space for Loud to really get to the entrance of these sites. Now it's for Loud to take advantage of that space and to force these rotates.
They got to figure out a way to set up that post plant. It's like Lev's, if you drew a line vertically through each site instead of horizontally, that's the way they're playing it, left, right, instead of top, down, and it seems like Loud's just really having trouble trying to figure out where that comfortable position is in the vertical site. They do get the space. They got to be able to hit the shots, though. We've seen Lev just on it. Now, the operator's going to be out for the side of Lev.
And that's a little bit of a surprise, because that's the first time that Lev pulls it out, and even a Dildo False gets no value, unfortunately, against Sato.
They continue to lights out Luke Show. And they're going to be looking for more. Feeling comfortable here. The push around coming in from Neon again is still checking showers, making it uncomfortable to plant with a bit more utility right on default of sight. And Spike slugs in that shorty probably. They don't even have everybody here from Lev. They're still waiting to see if there's a rotation from Loud. Great clear from Verdi. He's been able to open up some big space for the team, but they still need to find a way to get the Spike down. Microwave into U-Haul. Darker. Oh, the quick scope hits one, but Neon quick to the shot as well to trade. And another round for Lev.
I still respect the idea of what Lau was trying to do, right? Because we were just talking about the short A side not really being pressured by Leviathan. They are trying to move up and give an opportunity for Lucio to get an opener.
Yeah.
But Enerday peeking out towards Showers very early in the round when it's not being smoked and here's an orb being tapped. He thinks it's another 1v1 fight on that side and he kind of just gave his life away. And it's hard to do that for Enerday IGL here because the one that was responsible working Showers the whole time was Lucio, so you don't really know what's happening on that side. And it's a bad peek that you did.
Back down long. So active and darker. So I'll do it again. You give me that shot, I'll hit it again. Consistency there.
But Sato's taking a space, though. They're always going to be ready for this one as the late hit for Loud into the A site because of this push.
Sato gets ult if he can come around with a kill. That's a huge retake for the site. And Loud's going to use their showstopper to get in. Oh, King from the back. Unseen is the deadliest, and he takes down that ultimate as Neon trades it right again.
Just got the Blaze Wall across her from Sato, but unfortunately Seekers are coming out here for Kawadzin, so that's going to give the tell of that big flank so they can take advantage of these fights.
Nicely done to continue pushing forward. I feel like they've allowed these spaces to be too strong for Leviathan, and now Loud pushing them together to clear out those danger zones. Sitting in the pit is a perfect position here for them on the last one. Looks like they'll be able to pick up a second round as Sato here just gets the last few seconds of damage in on a few players. Well, hot hands in to give himself some more space, but LEV finding a way through. It is a battle in these rounds, but they're looking like they will need 4 to make it work on the next half.
Yeah, so far it's definitely looking like outside of small hiccups here from inside our LEV, it should be fairly one-sided until the end of this half. Even you're seeing these duels where Lucio has been very good. That 1v1 where he has the tight angle against Sato still loses it against him, so definitely does feel that Leviathan a little bit more comfortable on the stage right now. No matter what, though, they are playing for the vibes for Loud. They've known they've already qualified, so now it's just to make sure that they're getting the reps in. Interesting, too, they were playing on blind because that's going to be out of the pool soon, but it is what it is.
Show less, right?
I guess.
That's all you got to do. Nobody needs to see the tricks right now. U-Haul being held by the judge, and this is a much slower round from LEV. They'll allow Loud to make the move first once again, but Spike's down, so this is a go around and find everything out that they can round.
It has been that story since the timeout, just to default and wait where the lanes are going to get pushed up. And this time, instead of using bodies, they're using a dog out from Kawadzin, so that is going to be able to push him back a bit, which is the defender of Neon, allowing here the walk-up of another op attempt of Lucio in short A. Still a 3-1-1, but on the reverse side, so they could really try to open up this A site.
Was that a fake runaway that they tried to do? I like it still. Didn't really buy a kill on the left side. A nice kill onto Neon. As Loud continue to creep forward. Again, the shift space being gained. Oh, Spike just taking one down instantly. They're toying with him here at U-Haul, but Lucio's not having any of it. He's been able to circumvent the site and these smokes and really just weasel his way into a dangerous position. Now Spike's got to figure out where that might be, and he can't. Right to the hip. Lucio gets another one as he's cleared just a handful of players in the last few rounds by himself. Really making it work.
Yep, sneaking through here to chip boxes through the smoke. Found that timing against Sato, who threw that run it back to get info towards the front of that site. And again, that was a free kill. He just had his crosshair placed onto where Sato is going to TP back to. And Sills finds a different position to take down Spike in the back of Triple from the bench. So nicely done for the lurk. But it was all thanks to the first opener by Airday. Catch and it rotates across, and I felt like maybe we kind of over-rotated a little bit too quickly for the side of Leviathan, because we haven't really made too much noise from the side of Loud on Sands and on Long B, with the exception of the of Darker letting himself being known by the flash thrown by Blows so that they could fake a presence over on this B side. So maybe that was that one element that kind of forced the over-rotate from Loud from Leviathan that Loud took advantage of.
Ooh. Very clean. I think a lot of those Loud realizes too that they were gaining the space, but losing Belong or losing one side with that vertical site play. So it was never safe. You're never really gaining the ground. So doing a little more, like you said, defaulting out, finding where people actually are, paying off big time. Right to showers. Oh, committing to the line. Just in rendezvous though still. Hello. Oh, he steps out of it for a second. Spike and Sato are gonna punish. They back up, leaving one insert, and they play a little bit here with Darker on the left side of the map, but it looks like the commitment will be towards A.
Got fully hit by that flash, both players there, Lucho and Kawadzine. Again, another huge flash coming out from Sato.
Yeah. He's still gonna stay in, ready for the swing. Saw what Neon did earlier from this position. Says, look what I could do. No, they double peek it.
There you go.
This time. And that's what we need to see all over the place. The fundamentals coming in before the strats. They rinse and repeat for Loud here, and they can get themselves a 4th round. Neon in arm's reach. They're looking to get the side. Oh, right to the shoulder. Gives actually a chance to get that trade down. And now it's Erode versus Blows. The two young ones. No, he's going to run right back to where he thought safety was. But into the waiting arms of Blows to make it a 9-3 first half. Hearts all around. And King's like, why'd you do that? Why? We'll find out.
That's why it's all smiles, shooting his old teammate after winning a 1v1. But look at that flash, man. Kawadzine had no chance. We never switched out to the headhunter after for Lucho, trying to go for a quick no-scope. He got caught off guard for sure. Big first half won here by Leviathan with a 9-3 scoreline.
Lev came out strong to start this map off, but we did see Loud wake up towards the end. Let's see if they keep that momentum coming into the second half. We'll be right back.
We got this old mattress.
Waterbed.
And the receipt.
How about you beat it with a better deal on one of these fresh setups?
We can't do that.
Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill for a better deal today.
Guess you're not as cool as Verizon.
I'm just gonna leave it.
Welcome back for the second half of Leviathan versus Loud. Loud coming out swinging in the second half is the name of the game. Pistol round is almost a must, but they were already trying to get funky in the second round of first half. They buy in, they try to get the Stingers, they try to get the Marshall. Lev said no. We'll just have to see what they can do. Everybody up there is having a lot of fun, though.
Yeah. I mean, we were just looking at the player shots before, and it's basically Erode mimicking what King was doing on the other side of the stage. We're, again, just having fun against these two teams for Leviathan and Loud. But yeah, this is now Loud on the defense. We saw Lucho starting to warm up a little bit here with this operator. Now he has an opportunity to let players come towards him. So we're going to try to test the line here at the pistol.
Cool. Headhunter. Between the heads. There were too many to choose from. And they'll use that space accordingly. But everybody's here from Loud. This is a perfect defensive positioning for them. Sato up on top tries to take control. And the rest of Loud are trying to play this one safe, and that's not the name. We saw Erode backing up there, seeing if they could get into a secret spot, but Lev was really hunting for the kills and just sourced everybody in the blink of an eye out of B.
Darker's too far away for the fight. Has a bandit.
Toxins going up.
They're just hiding.
Toxins screen
Just
down.
like crawl in, and then they're all going to peek out on him. Another pistol for Sato, entering the site, hopping up on top of B, and somehow living throughout that as the rest of the team just fanned out into the site. So you can see the coordination there from Lev. Just flashes again. Oh, that's how he lived. Okay. And just with the fall bump, too, making his aim go wayward, still hits a headshot.
Yeah, it's different today. Just simple crosshair placement, but being very precise. Good reaction times, and he's winning a lot of these duels.
Yeah.
Already 1 away of getting the run it back. I don't necessarily think they're going to try to use it this round unless they want to make sure that there is nobody stacking towards where they want to lead towards to, which is this B site for now. Lucio's trying to watch a tight angle with the headhunter there.
If they get up B long, they could just go run it back Phantom with Sato. He buys into this round. That doesn't mean the Sheriffs won't catch heads here from Loud. It just takes a few shots.
And that's why it would be nice here. He's the one that's invested the best weapon in a round.
Yeah. In
the server for this round. So if he gets a pick against pistols, easier for him to get to run it back. He can now farm orbs for the other players instead. But Leviathan are making sure here that they're not walking into any of these traps. They're still waiting back towards the spawn. The best positioning you have for now is Verdi right out towards the spawn. Finds that timing for that tuck.
One of those shots, putting a little bit of an advantage in Loud's hand, but they're still down considering the weaponry in this round.
There's that kill on A.
Yep, Verdi finalizes that. Come around, a few more Sheriffs ring out as Blows is finally able to trade one back. Loud in the advantage right now if they try to creep back into the site. Spike just catches the back of Luke, and they're going to have to repair this one. Cowanzine gets slid on as well by Spike as he knows the fight's not over. And now they're already watching behind them, so this elbow crew can just stay steady and wait for the site to be taken.
Big game of timings for this round. Everybody finding their backstabs, their kills, but the advantage is still here for Leviathan in the pulse plan with weapons.
Walks right up. Oh, wait. The chest. Erde with a big shot there. Can they get it to half before the damage comes through? Neon makes the noise. Runs straight at Spike to make sure it's in his favor, and he still plays Verdi. Red Bull clutch for Neon. An absurd bind game so far.
At 1 HP as well. They knew there for the side of Loud that they had timings. They had an opportunity. You had to stick onto that Spike after that first shot. The other one had to run knife out. Verdi almost had that timing, but then unfortunately, the smoke is their demise. Ooh. The one that they dropped to try to get the defuse allows Neon to get the crosshair placement, catch your opponent, and then put Leviathan at 11. No more timeouts left for Loud, so they're just going to have to ride it for the rest of the half.
We're buying into this to try and keep their backs off the ropes of game point. And Sato has to run it back already. We were talking about before. Solidified through the previous round. Verdi shuts it down for a moment.
Nice shot.
How much does he fizzle out? The Strat King's there to snuff out his play. And now Luke Show has to get forward with the Bucky. Pre-fired and then corrected. King gets a third. Neon with the finalizer. And Lev are just finding Loud before they can get into position.
Yeah. Loud letting this map float it so that Leviathan could take it. I think that's very smart to what you were saying here, Riv. For Leviathan to not show their hands going into the playoffs by playing these type of maps. But they're still playing it so well.
They are. People will be like, okay, God, we don't have to choose whether to pick this or not against Lev now. Good Lord. 20-6 Neon on that brim, cycling in a lot of the util and smoke for the team. Got the assist to prove it as Luke Show now trying his hand, getting as much out of the rendezvous as you can. You love to see that, but the kills just aren't solidified there.
Nice combo.
Taken down as he was slowly walking back into sight. That's the thing. It seems like Lev, they activate, and there is no time to walk back into sight. You already have to be in position.
Even throwing a smoke up towards Hookah, so there's really no way for you to
answer a trade.
Exactly. No denial, you have to wait now, and as it dissipates, well, everybody's also dying around the map, so Dark was definitely isolated by it.
Cowanzine with a few of his own. They have a huge mountain to climb ahead of them with this level of skill Lev is showing on Bind right now. 2 towards B long. Kalanzine with the first one, but Darker's expecting the swing from long. It's not there. Blows stands tall for 2, and Lev take bind.
A great dominating first map here for Leviathan.
Welcome back to VCT Americas. Lev and Loud about to head over to Breeze.
Yeah, Breeze a good map here for Loud, as they mentioned here on the desk before, and the last victory that they had was against Cloud9, where they actually lost both pistols on that map and was still able to win 13-11 against C9, which was probably one of the biggest upsets that we've seen so far in this stage, with the exception of maybe that NV and MIBR yesterday, but we won't really talk about that game, right? I'm like, nonetheless, though, let's see what agents we come out with here for both of these teams. For Loud, there's not going to be any changes. So on the first time that they played the map on the stage, we had Verdi on that on Jet. But ever since the last time, since C9, they're going to stick to that Neon. I think now playing with no Viper to have an extra slice if they need to, in terms of a last resort to really get map control would be kind of good. But I think also the other thing is Enerday playing on this Astra is going to help a lot here for containment, for fights, for combinations with Luxo, so that Verdi could get the best value as possible from the support of both the initiators.
We heard Romanelli talking about just a few things that kind of needed to change fundamentally there. Not everything. They realized what was happening in that game, just couldn't get it to click. So see if it happens here on Breeze. They are going to get that chance to start off on the defensive side and try to read Lev in their aggression on this attack. They got to start off strong, though. I feel like the momentum is going to be everything here for Loud to get themselves into this.
Agreed. Leviathan on their side, though, did you remember Leviathan with Neon playing some Chamber in the past? He was really good on flicking as that spot, but he's actually playing a Jet this time around, too. So they're playing a double duelist with Neon and Spike. They're actually trying to leverage timing and elevation, too, to maybe try to catch this whole type of, like, Darker Flash peak, trying to maybe catch them off guard here when Loud is going to play for these type of team fights against Leviathan. So we'll have to see how that pans out for this second map. But again, I think after seeing a little bit of Bind and the form of Leviathan so far in this matchup, it is definitely going to be a tough one for Loud. Last thing to talk about, too, is that Leviathan, with that map win that they just had here on Bind, will at least guarantee them not to get 4th seed going into the playoffs. And that's super important, right? Because you're starting at the bottom bracket if you're 4th seed. You do want to get that 1st seed, though, so they want to finish this in a 2-0 or 2-1 for Leviathan. If not, they also have a chance to even fall down to even 3rd seed if they lose this 1-2 against Loud.
I'm interested to see how the comfortability of the little swap for Darker and Erode do here with the Astra and the KO switching. Erode had that versus Cloud9. So keep an eye on that as Loud starts to push down. Lots of info mid. Take some long shots there. Quite a bit of damage done by the Ghost onto Darker. And they will not retaliate anymore. Actually going staying quite far back with everyone else and just allowing this 2 team to walk towards elbow and seek things out. About that 1 minute smoke mark, is that what it is? Towards mid. It is going to be that B play for Lev. Slow as it goes, though. The shift strategy. Yeah,
Lev is not worried about this, right? With that smoke, it's pinged out, but the most important thing is the high-low stack towards the staircase. You see how passively they're playing towards this B side? They're just trying to play the retake as they let Leviathan in.
It's a full retake. Darker, a little hurt, but still has the knife. Could look to get it backside. He goes down with the sprays coming through. Verdi's made some good space, though. This would be a huge opening, but King sits him down. As Loud starts to take the space. They get 3 as they light up the kill feed. And that leaves Sato running for the hills here. They're trying to get in some secret spots right now. There's one. The Sheriff is big for King. No. Should say blows rather. Erode on 2 with the Ghost as he's able to clean it up right on top of the spike and make a big impact in the beginning of this map.
That came in really close, though. It's a nice knife that we had thrown from the KO of Erode so that it actually takes a little bit of that util away to allow also Kalanzine to move through and get these kills towards Castle. But at the end, it still came down to a 1v1. Big hero plays almost came through here from Blows. But then Erode was quicker, just scanning around this gulag, and he was able to get that huge round on the 1v1.
It's something they were scattered on before, not being able to really get any of the post plants in their favor or seek out Lev. Nice job to collapse on that.
Yeah. Now Loud has a chance to really take the upper hand as they win their pistol here. Leviathan has played their comp in the past when they played against... Oh, wait, hold on. Let's hold that thought. We actually have a big push from Leviathan into this B site here. Just a full classic run-in. Oh, what?
A little bandit damage as well. Lev's able to clear Loud. This is what Loud tried to do with guns on the first map, and it's just going to be classics for Lev. They're able to regroup, pick up 2 Bulldogs now in their hand. Luke Show gets in close, gives himself a little bit of a break in space here to see if he can gain any more ground once Cowanzine gets in, but they have so much to do. Looks like they will try to join hip and hip before making a move. It's just too much, too many members. Oh no, it's not! Cowanzine finds one. Oh, the util dumped into there was crazy, and Spike takes full advantage of that. Lev pull it right back in their favor.
Yeah, for Spike to still have that relay bolt on that 2 versus 1 was huge. That breaks decon for Loud. I literally was just talking about a potential upper hand that they have. And look at this. They're not playing a flash comp here, so with the amount of walls and smokes that came up and nobody to pop through, playing out in the open should have been such a good position there for... Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering the same thing, Romadilli.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really got caught off guard trying to swing off through the Astra util, and yeah, the aim was a little bit better there for Leviathan on the attack side, and now it's a walk for Loud down towards middle.
Ooh. They've watched it last time, so King's going to be ready for something here, and they have the timing if anything came out of A, so those guys will be able to rotate and kind of sync up with what's coming down mid, but Lev are actually expecting something real scary, and they haven't made more of a move than to head over to distant B.
And it's fine, right? We're just waiting for the smoke for the Omen. It's 14 seconds. They're waiting here. Remember that 1 minute mark? There was actually a cove that came through on that side as well. So everybody's stacked up on that spot. Potentially Darker could go for a flash peek right after. But instead, Leviathan are not going for that protocol at that minute mark, which is why you see now Loud falling back, rather. Realizing here there's no split towards the A site.
A chance to grab King's gun. They're going to re-smoke. Just figuring out when Sato can get here because they might lose this one. Gets Darker, kills it. Can they smoke themselves off and get it is the question.
Yeah, I mean, you still have Cove. You can pull out the shield. Ooh, that was in too early on that one.
Huge. Leon's able to get one. Sato does find another one in mid as they pick apart Loud, who is creeping ever closer to having an advantage in this round. It just falls away as Lev realizes what's happening mid-round. Another good kill. Big damage they need to start doing to Lev here. They cannot let them run away with the economy like on the first map. And to this one, a quick push from Blows and Team Ace there. As you see, it takes everybody of Lev to find out what Loud is trying to do that round. And they get a second round.
Neon's a little bit too far to pick up that Vandal that was left behind by King. But overall, just nice little damage at the beginning to surprise him. You were asking the question if they had util to try to pick up the weapon. Luxo had a full kit. He had the Cove, he had the High Tide. Unfortunately, Cowanzine was a little bit too preemptive jumping across and trying to pick it up, and he got caught. It's supposed to be free, the Cove. You could add the shield. But nonetheless, this was still an eco round for Loud. They had the rifle to work with now, or rifles. And it's fast, actually, for Leviathan.
Ultimate coming through, sight split on A. Let's hear what Lev's talking about on the hit.
Meio, vamos matar esse cara aqui.
Vamos.
Bora, meio.
Tá. Tô de strafe. Tô de reta. Foda-se.
Caminho pra frente.
Vou abrir também. De reta. Mano, vou tentar matar ele, tá, guys? Pra ter uma orb.
Vai, gatão. Tô comendo aqui, Nino.
Ele vai guardar a arma.
Calma. Tem smoke?
And if you're watching Shile Wager's watch party here, he was probably translating all those comms rather, for Lev. Seems simple, just trying to identify where the players were at after the reckoning towards the A site and winning all these fights and making sure that they're staying as a group for the attack, and it capitalizes for 3 rounds in a row. Also leveraging a double ult on top of that with Blows' Hunter's Fury. And that's a huge run to use it, right? Remember, this was a buy round we had previously for Loud.
Yeah.
So you shut down the economy again. You force him to be on another gamble of pistols and a Marshall now in the hands of Luke Show.
The movement's so specific from LEV, right? We had that second round where they sit it, or the other round where they sit at B expecting Loud to do something weird, and the moment it's gun on gun, LEV go for the throat with a split on A, knowing it's going to be more of a default setup from that gun round of Loud, just playing the state of the game so well right now. Loud's just trying to move up mid and see if they can gain any early info or catch off an angle.
Take flight.
LEV patient enough to read it with util though. Not that. Verdi getting sneaky. It's enough to deter the side of LEV for now. And start to rotate back over as it looks like there is a bit of a line here for Luke showing mid through that smoke.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised we already went for the right click on the Cove though, because Verdi was already inside that smoke with a judge. That could have given him a good position here for a good 20 seconds, but now as it trades out a little bit at least, and they feel that they have some good map control and expecting Leviathan to go for a re-hit towards his B site, so those two guys are just going to stay close by leveraging a judge that was left behind by Verdi.
Through mid, right?
That's probably going to be the plan with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a long walk around if they do try to split this even more. So they re-go to what we saw last round for the same strat, just a little less util, more eyes on the play. One focused off. They're going to call over the rest of Loud from B on this. 13 seconds for the plant. Can't really do much. Looking off that to get a Hunter's Fury. Tags one. Can he grab a second? What a TP. And a save of the life from LEV.
They won it on time, though. That was well enough done for the Hunter's Fury to really push people across for Leviathan, looking for the late hit and plant over on the A site. So you talk about the TP, but the other side too, I think Blows was also getting tagged or something like that, but they never had a chance. Really nice repositioning from Karolzine we had towards the end. Loud's only able to get level up a little bit of that playing field by winning that Thrifty.
I think it makes LEV rethink playing that time down so low now. And they know Loud's not going to be peeking and giving them the kills they want. They'll have to go searching for them. And Neon's going to try to do that right now with an operator already towards elbow. A little bit of a play here from Erday. They walk right by Ships in the Night, and he's actually going to have 3 behind him for a backstab. Knows there's a second. Saw an ankle, but he doesn't know where they're going to try to exit the smoke. What a play if he's able to take down Sato here. And they realize they've kind of swapped, but he looks away to see if there's somebody behind him. And they reclaim mid, but good damage already coming in from Loud.
He thought he backpedaled enough to start going back down towards that staircase. Runs into a wall and face plants on the ground after by Sato. And that's a huge advantage in the round for Leviathan now, a 4 versus 2. Now you're forcing players to re-clear and find info. And just these tucked angles, it's just, again, well played by Leviathan.
They want to activate on something right away. There's a kill. They go to see what can be had from that situation even more. See Neon pushing down mid, or pushing into mid, getting that space so they can still hold elbow. It's LEV is not happy with just one kill. If they can get more, they go towards it. Now plant towards A.
Simple one.
Simple, yeah.
They heard Dark already towards that B site. That's why double pings came out, and you saw the knives out. Pulled from Leviathan with the rotate over on A. Darker trying to go for a save here.
Just cut off. Would have wanted that to go around the side. Nice identification of one on the left to take that fight. And now make a little bit of noise just to get a peek out of one. He's trying to draw that with a step and now cut noise. Darker, this would be huge.
Oh,
to get another, it's always the turn! What is this timing? Sato gets another one in the same way and they're able to capitalize on the round.
Sato blessed by the Valorant gods today in terms of timings on Breeze and also the amount of flashes that he was hitting on that first map of Bind. It was a nice little attempt towards the end. But again, I'm still questioning it. Should have we saved that rifle from Darker? The money was still quite good to maybe try to get an opt-out for the next round, which they won't have now. I think this is the reason why we're seeing this timeout coming out from the Brazilian organization, so they could figure out what they could do next here, and Romanilli has lots to say.
Yeah. I mean, just the owners listening to the squad, seeing what they're feeling, right? It's a much different situation right now. And Loud's rounds have been the timeout. They were kind of that hard-fought pistol round, right? They required a good for the flood retake, where they caught LEV off guard, but it's really the only time where we've seen them kind of have that upper hand in the round. LEV seem to always be able to switch it back in their favor, or even have an audible to strat A and B when they need it here. And Loud's trying to figure it out with this timeout.
It's tough for them to really get their footing too with no early ops or anything. I mean, it's also very tough in terms of the comp that they're running to try to run an operator on their defense. Maybe they want to give it to Verdi instead of Flickshow. But also the thing is, I have to commend Loud to their attempts to being fairly proactive around the map, especially for mid control at the beginning of these rounds. But it's just a reaction after that at the minute. What do you really want to do with it?
Yeah.
Leviatán has been slowing things down every single one of these rounds. Always starting a little bit more passively behind towards their spawn.
Oh, Neon starts him off again. And now you get that identification of Darker out. A huge trade from Erday. But that's a source position. You know somebody's going to try to kill him there, and immediately with the way Lev's playing, he's done a good job to hide himself, making Spike feel kind of weird now. Back and forth. What's the timing? Oh, he gets another one, playing it exactly the way it needs to be played for this elbow situation. And it's another turnaround timing shot for Lev here as they find Loud trying to reposition.
Yeah, Lucio just counted. That smoke comes up. He has to fall back to try to save his weapon. Let me just shoot through that. Here is that push back down here from Loud.
The jumping? Okay, King. They're heading back the other way. This is going to be a big catch for Verdi, though. This could step it up. This could build momentum. King still got it. And finds the Vandal hit to give Lev another round after Loud's timeout.
Yeah, an 8 HP remaining after the first duel, too. That was so close for Verdi. Picked up that rifle, moved forward, try to win that 1 versus 2. I love that jump spot from Neon. You have to be quick here to flick onto that one. Unfortunately, Darker had a lower weapon. Couldn't be as precise as he wanted to.
One enemy remaining.
Get out of here.
So after jumping judges on the nerf, it's what, jumping Vandals?
Yeah. Right, please.
We're just going to keep going down that list.
Loud 1 ult away from having everything, and you're going to get Spike overdriving right away, trying to make it feel awkward in mid. Erday says no, it's his.
All a fake. While they're making so much noise on the middle, pretending that they're going to go for a mid to A split, because the Owl drone was also moving in from blows on A main. Sato went for a full TP towards B, realizes that it's clear. So now it's up to blows that cuts to rotate. But Erday wins that one. Big advantage.
He's starting to have his own timing now. They keep playing off of that. They'll start to turn things around. They already need to tack down on the economy that Lev has. And here comes the retake. They know one's close. They're just waiting now for Luke Show to be able to finalize the smokes and get over here with safety.
Last player standing.
Shots. Here they looking for the ace. That's Darker actually getting the fragment kill as they come into the site. A confident round, a lot alive on that round, and it's exactly what Loud needs to turn this one.
Yeah, and that's Leviatán finally for the first time being a little bit more aggro outside of the, what was it, Reckoning Hunter's Fury split that they did towards the A side. They wanted to up the tempo for mid control and running right into the Loud setup. That's what they wanted. They wanted to see the aggression coming out from Leviatán, and they know how to stop the mid aggression. But it's also thanks to Erday getting, what, a 4K and a 2K in the last 2 rounds, making it very close for Loud.
Honestly, I said it was whether him and Darker switched the Astra and the KO coming into this. His pop flashes were good, not pop flashing and sidestepping into smokes to trying to change that entry technique. Always has something on his mind to make the play work. And that's why we're seeing him at the top now for Loud. Verdi's able to tack down the first blood here. Spike gets an evener. And they slowly move in, trying to cut these walls. The perpendicular hits from every one of the controllers, and Lev lighten up the screen a bit. Okay, Luke Show. Making an entry into the site with an entry into the site.
You have to look at their POVs of how quick they have to be on reactions, too, with all these walls. Off of Reckoning, it was a nice little first blood, also by Verdi. That was really needed for the last 2 players inside that site for the B anchor to really stall that push from Leviatán, but now into the mid round, Spike does have the high gear, so it's easy for them to rotate back towards the A site, and blows, once again, responsibility to cut the rotates, this time from B to A.
A lot of pressure here.
One enemy remaining.
The angle was just off for that check to happen. I think that's what has punished Loud quite a bit here. Luke Show, 87 HP here. Same HP, same armor, actually, as we come into this fight. And it's gonna be Spike who comes out on top. 6-3 for Lev.
Plants a spike, defends a spike, is Spike himself.
Yeah.
Nice little 1v1 in and off angle too, but look at the chaos that was ensuing towards his B site. Again, I have to commend how good that was for Loud to defend all of that in the first place.
Yeah.
But you have to be aware when it comes down to rotating back here to understand where players could be inserted.
Right.
And clear those angles. Plant only just got planted, so you still have time here to keep gun out to clear all those 10 angles. And then potentially 2v1 into the A site.
The relay bolt's huge. Spike trades one off here. Yeah, they know this fight is going to happen, and Loud's able to flex even more this time. They just have to get away, right? The wall's not going to drop. Okay, no back shots on that from Neon. Here we go, moving back in. Neon safe. No, he's not. He's not. Luke Show takes him down, and now 2 left for Lev as they seem to be falling apart, not knowing that Loud's moving that much faster in these rounds.
And this is good. This is actually Loud's turn to have these inserts. So he catches Leviatan's players off guard here after adding so much pressure into the elbow control. Again, they're really good at that for Loud.
Same spot. It seems to just be ending here all the time. Not the nail in the coffin this time, though.
This could be. Should be.
I mean, he's going to get a money. And they still have quite a bit to their name, too, after working a few of the rounds in their favor. It's good to see Loud able to really start to work on those pockets, though. Just get that cash away from Lev so they don't feel confident to make such aggressive plays. Oh, God. Squeeze down onto King. Darker gets that. See where they trade this one over to. And, yeah, they're going to try to get Luke Show back up on that ultimate.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that King didn't give himself a chance here with Util to isolate some fights, get some 1v1s. He had a Cove to work with. He had a High Tide to work with. So we're even going to try to Cove plant, but he had the enough confidence to just plant out in the open, thinking that nobody's there to flank on the main. At least Luke Show's not whipping in the server. He's just whipping high fives outside of the server here.
It's like, I gotta focus on kills. Let me kill. Let me get more. The rounds they have been able to get onto the Spike, all post-plant diffuses. The timeout round with the Hunter's Fury. But much better from Loud so far as they find their footing here on Breeze to look to push this to a third map. Cowanzine peering down that A main spot as the team from Loud starts to rotate back over. But Lev's not even going to give him a chance to blink on this. Hunter's Fury comes out amongst the chaos. Loud's able to pick up a few, but still traded by Lev here in the 3v3 situation. Neon's made space, and I don't think Airday's going to think to check it. He's not going to have to. Oh, no way. He still gets a kill out of that. A little bit of an error. It's traded back for the 2v2. Null commands up. I don't know if Darker just wants to pop that. No reason to in the situation. And they're not even going to have a chance to. Sato and Neon clean it up to grab a 7th round for Leviathan.
Nice swing back from Leviathan on a 2v2 there. Protocols, again, way better for the side of Leviathan than we're seeing here so far in this matchup. I was scratching my head as well on the High Tide that was thrown on the exit for Lev. That's so deep. And it doesn't really cut too much because who the heck really plays towards A-Ramp? Who the heck really plays towards Bridge, really? Against XX, right? And somehow they were still able to capitalize on space with trading. Even if Loud contained them back with Lucho's own High Tide.
Yeah.
Right between the pyramids. Last round, though, of the half. An opportunity for Loud to turn it around, though. They got some big ults to work with here.
No, Darker actually from Heaven in the Nast able to get 2 there in mid. This changes the round, but Loud's still going to look for more. The jump up here from King. He's making noise. He's actually surrounded. He does go down eventually. As Verdi is dancing back and forth, trying to get the upper hand in the situation, but Spike's able to clear 2 in mid as Lev have the answer each time. And now Luke Show has to go searching for this. Ultimate's up so he can use it. Has the last round, see if it makes an advantage, but they're all just going to be able to read where he's coming from.
Another round where the Loud team has a great fight for middle control. And then after that, it's unfortunate in terms of not being able to capitalize on Spike that a knife out in the beginning. Luxo, though, making it possible.
Big kill. He's been popping off. You know Luxo is good for these situations, but does he have the timing? Spike able to route him and get the shot. Another round for Lev. 8-4 in the first half.
I think he even had that reckoning too, and he was looking to pop it inside there. Never expected to re-wrap onto elbow. But Leviathan, despite losing a couple of these early fights here in the rounds, they always capitalize on the round and a dub in the end.
Second half of Breeze right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back to VCT Americas. Leviathan on the verge of locking in that first seed in the Alpha group. Just a few more rounds. And Loud have to get the momentum here. Have to find the pistol round. It was actually pulled away from them by Lev on the first half. So it's not even really an up or good for them after that. It's just been tough.
And when we talked about losing both pistols and still able to turn it around here for Loud against C9. Won the first pistol, but those dreams of getting that confidence after that pistol round for Loud immediately evaporated after Leviathan got that eco pistol run into this B-side. Now a knife already catches one. That's the Neon, so they expect the walk down from left towards elbow, and that's already going to call for Loud to instantly exec towards this A site.
And for the pistol, it's highly unlikely that's alone. So yeah, they move forward, knowing it's going to be a bit of a timing here. Oh, Luxo, very nicely done to wait for that rotation, and he'll still cause trouble, forcing everybody to go back towards the mid side and even look for him.
I love this.
Pushing forward, Verdi taking space. Need to see a few kills coming in for him. Get that momentum right as Rain Cowanzine answers. Loud looking good on this round, but Lev haven't put their final touches on yet. They don't even get to, as two quick kills come from Cowanzine and Darker to end that pistol round.
Ends up being a very nice pistol for Loud there. So again, after the knife gets info, you could start tempoing towards the A side, but the most important thing was actually Luxo watching that flank after throwing the high tide. Yeah. He calls the info of 3 players flanking after killing one, right over here, right? So he gives a chance now for the 2 players towards yellow. Pop flash through that, get the backstab, get another kill, and then just converge and crossfire into the double doors. There was some space being taken by Neon, but again, it was like pretty much a 4 versus 2 at that point. Now hopefully Loud could hold back and win here and string an anti-eco, where Leviathan have actually 5 players there.
No buy, but all 5 this time. Ready to just throw everything at one player if they see him. And that first player is going to be Erde. He realizes it. He's been very good at playing his life, just drawing them right into the hands of Verdi as they clean up a few more and get those alt points online. Just farming up the ecos.
Yeah, go pick it up too. Even if King is gonna maybe get Air Day, not even needed.
That's big.
Yeah, and huge actually for the ones that are getting the kills for the last 2 rounds. It's both Cowanzine and Verdi here. for eco kills, for pistol rounds, and they're already, both of them, past halfway mark to get their ultimates.
One enemy
Clean.
remaining.
Just take a few to calibrate. There's windy back there too.
60% of the time, it hits every time.
Every time.
Yeah, big bonus round for Loud. They didn't lose too many players in the process. The Outlaw that was picked up by Verdi on the previous round is actually given to Cowadzine, so they're actually trying to create a little bit more of that space with the fast lanes and that Bulldog that he picks up for this round.
Oh, that's timing for Neon, and he makes a little too much noise. Erde did the same thing with the KO, trying to punish this position. He gets one as Spike will do Spike things and slide right into a kill. And it's the retake for Lev now. Loud's actually kind of huddled into this back corner. They're going to have to be careful if any util gets dropped in. They're not looking at too much.
They high-tided towards that site, thinking that they're going to flood back towards the B site, but they're actually triple flanking on A main for Lev.
They spread out. Loud's in a bit better position here to defend as they get Spike and the rest of the team to create their own way back in. Hugs out. Yeah, Luke Show's going to be giving that one over to Spike. They slow it down. Trying to play the crossfires. Beautifully done here by Loud to make it look like just too much to get back into the site for Leviathan, and they'll be able to grab this round.
Stopping both, too. No weapon save for the side of Leviathan, trying to run back. Nice little pop flash, too, and selfless play from Darker. So the other ones can run out and instantly take down those two players from Lev. Big util, big positioning. I think it started off quite well from Erde at that mid double doors. After getting that first pick, and then it comes down to the util that was still available for Cowadzine in the post plant. The Owl Drone confirms that there was no flood behind the high tide in the back of that B site, so they could focus the rest of the util to stall towards that front side. Molly was still available as Darker threw his on the ground, so yeah, that was just very nice. That means that they didn't have to use too much util to entry towards that B site in the first place when he realized that there was no opposition from crossfire setups or whatnot from a simple knife from Darker right in the middle of the B site. The circumference of what you're able to get from the KO knife showed that there was nobody really there to try to challenge back on Leviathan's side. So that was all very nicely laid out as a plan here for the attack on the bonus round.
Using the info very fast on the side of Loud here as they're getting it this time. You know, activating off of a lot of things that it seemed like they were either delayed on or just weren't in position to really make a snap judgment on. Right there. Well, the snap, a good snap judgment, that is. Has brought them a few rounds now. They get through the bonus, which is huge. They should be able to collect a few more. And then, as you were saying, Verdi halfway past ult on that. Should have it online here with a few kills or an orb. And it looks like they'll actually be selecting the soft site for what Lev's defending, so it shouldn't be too tough of a round.
Yeah, potentially even in a fast round as well. The position from Luke Show is looking to run that smoke towards that front B side and then just high tide right away. I think that was what they did a couple of rounds ago. For the rest, it's a walk contact. I think after they spot here, King potentially out in the open, that's probably when the high tide's going to come out.
So they keep controlling mid, control back. Nice to make that look like it's actually coming from mid of sorts. And they're still kind of wondering if it will. Double check going in from Spike. Yeah, here comes the rest of Lev. And a nice setup and a little bit of a misdirection there from Loud to make sure they had enough time to do that and no funny guns would happen. Good cleanups. Keeping the sheriffs and shotguns at range. Verdi getting some very necessary kills for himself. Okay, Spike. Does he still have wrists after that? Holy moly.
That is age 100%. That's just a regular Tuesday now for Spike, trying to save this Phantom for the next round. But yeah, after realizing that nobody's really peeking out towards the A-side pyramid, that's when the high tide came out. They're probably thinking, okay, they're leaning more towards middle, leaning more towards orange. And then Loud's able to enter in. Yeah, some good damage is done, but at the same time, this is lots of unanswered rounds. Fourth one so far. And the ones that actually got kills as well in the anti-eco was huge. This is Cowadzine right here, getting the Hunter's Fury right after that frag. And even Verdi pushing towards that spawn, getting a double kill, allows for him to get the overdrive for the next couple of rounds. So lots in the arsenal for Loud to continue a strong attack side. Op coming out for Leviathan, though. This is the first time that it comes through, and Neon's looking to challenge that right away into middle.
They're going to knife him out? Yeah. So they push him off the line. Nicely done, so they don't at least get a first and opening kill. Still keeps that mid line with the op, though.
They never heard the push out from the TP, though, from Sato, so he's in a prime spot. That allows here all of Leviathan to hold middle and A site. Their deal is kind of cool. Just add that pressure towards that B side, funnel them towards middle, but that KO knife from Darker didn't allow for Neon to really go into a mid pick.
Making quite a bit of noise to run up through here. Crossfired by both LEV. This will be a nice little 7-10 split if they can get these kills coming out here. Let's hear what they're talking about as they go into the fight. Oh.
Down B.
I think they said, man, we're all dead. So Cowan-Z LMS.
Yep. That's timing. What a setup. There was just so much run. There's, I think Verdi ran a bit, and then somebody else ran a bit. They had that call forever before it happened.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say here is they tried to go for a little bit of a trap play towards that B main to funnel towards the up for Neon. You also had a recon dart that came down towards that cannon side, which gave free reign for Sata to go and TP into the window. So, yes, it makes a lot of noise, but you never really expect somebody to push all the way down towards that window on that B site. So it was just easy for Leviathan to set up for this. Look how he's actually getting the backstab kills on everybody moving forward, while here Spike is the distraction.
And then Cowan-Z's looking like, what's happening over there? Boom, shot in the back. That LEV are just on the timings right now of what they need to do. And that's, you know, that makes Loud feel uncomfortable. And they're like, okay, we should be checking every corner, but now we have to move slower and check every corner if the strat isn't to just util hit.
Yeah.
It's got to make it feel uncomfortable to move around the map for us LEV right now.
The good news, too, for the Leviathan camp is I don't think that Neon really shot an op out yet, and they never really saw it here for Loud. So that's another element of surprise that continues in this round for defensive team, as the Owl Drone comes out on the attack, trying to go for attack with the Hunter's Fury that we were talking about too. Reckoning to try to stall on the defense.
Ooh. Freddy playing for the dart, playing for anti-flash, still swings a kill on King. Beautifully done there. Definitely starting to come online in a very necessary moment with these impact frags for Loud. Spike in and out of that wall makes it such a weird interaction. Takes one down, but it's a Hunter's Fury to cause chaos in the site and put Loud back on top. Oh, can't overdrive that one home. Erde comes up with the kill, and Loud get it right back for a 9-9 scoreline.
I was just about to mention that the Hunter's Fury not needed when they were droning into the site and realizing that it's still open here. Head on a swivel, by the way, right over here from Verdu to get that fight and that win against King. But instead, they're using the Hunter's Fury to disrupt in the pulse plant because nobody wants to play into A main.
I'm stone cold right now. I'm stone cold.
I love it.
Agreed. Coming in, shot calling, taking solo fights mid in some of these rounds is just incredibly comfortable. Incredibly comfortable on the stage.
One suppressed.
Yeah, I like this continuous knife protocol from Darker into the mid double doors. You're really not allowing here Leviathan to try to find timings through these smokes and to go for a pick. So they have to stay a little bit more passively as you're setting up somewhat of a crossfire towards mid. And Loud wants to disrespect all of this.
King with the spam, but not before it's traded back by Cowan-Z. Loud's not going to have any more of these no-traded smoke kills coming through. They're on the ball with that one. Alt's going to wear away here for Darker. We'll see what the hit looks like coming in from LEV. Spike obviously has to open it. They choose to go back site onto their own side and just kind of retake it default. Nice shot from Spike to open this up. You see one die, but they're still looking towards mid on this, and LEV just starts to walk through the members of Loud, but Cowan-Z is so close to being able to make it happen. Neon shuts that possibility down, and the defuse goes to LEV.
You just saw in a little camera there, Sato standing up. Thank you for saving us in that round, as Cowan-Z was about to have a little clip to get posted on the socials. Yeah, you just talked about it, the communication of who's watching Spike sliding down here after that first kill, but that's because there's just so much chaos being thrown by Leviathan on that flood retake. So yeah, the comms must have been messy there for sure for Loud in the Pulse plant, but at the end of the day, still that 1v1 won by a Neon. That puts Leviathan back in the driver's seat for the series.
King being pretty vocal here in this timeout right off the bat. And it's a LEV round. LEV timeout. So they're definitely either confirming something or being sure they're ready for something here towards the end of the game, because it's very possible that Loud continues to go back and forth with the ults they have here.
And here are my mind games now. You're thinking about this protocol knife being thrown consistently by Darker over on this A side. They try to finish for the mid-A split. After timeout, why not go B? Maybe, right? Because the amount of times that Leviathan have pressured back and fought towards A and middle, B is a little bit passive, right? With the exception of that trap play. I want to see the up move towards that side to maybe try to challenge that. Because if you have Neon trying to go through the double doors, that knife should be there so you could avoid that. But if you're actually pushing towards that B main instead, it catches potentially Loud off guard because they don't have any starts and defaulting towards that B site. If you're looking at the scenario here, there's a potential here to maybe even take down Luke Show towards that B site. But instead, there's no changes coming through from Leviathan in their setups, with the exception of a double push towards A main.
Loud focusing that early information, the knife towards elbow to see if they get a push from Lev.
And that's a change. There's no knife towards middle to identify that. The conditioning's different this time around, so Leviathan should have been reacting to this right away.
And that's a hit. Already on to B, right to the front door, only 30 seconds into the round, and they're looking to plant. As Kawanzine takes a bit of damage on the entry, but they're gonna look to be fine here. Airday in mid, looking to get one. Neon shuts them down right away, and they are hightailing it over to B.
It'll be just enough time at the time to make it there. The Cosmic Divide's gonna go down, and it's time for Leviathan with Util and Knives to trade back.
Throwing knives. Sato gets one as well. They're all just peeking and jumping together, allowing Neon to be the one to break the crosshairs as they go around the corner. Neon gets another one, a 3K on the knives, dashing through the site and still finding that target. Neon gets a fourth, and they're able to just take it right after their timeout and understand what the win condition is.
Yeah. Seeing here that the gap was there for B main, where they didn't want to challenge it, head first. They just went to make sure that they take down the lurkers. So again, the double duel is sticking together, opening up the space, taking down Airday. There's no grab well for the Pulse plan, and then they just flood beautifully. The lead now by 2 for Leviathan.
You see that confidence. You saw the play as just dashing through Spike on Neon.
Yeah.
And then how comfortable would you be as Neon on Jet? This sounds so weird. Throwing knives. Everything is almost slowed down for them as they're doing it because it's working so well.
And that instantly calls a timeout from Loud right after here. And yeah, you're right. From what you were just talking about, the movement from Spike. And that's why this Spike is so good for the Arsenal and for as a player here for Leviathan. You have those moments almost like a Dante style too, where if you want to try to make space and jump around, you're going to be able to do that for the team. He's been the assist player for Neon to get that 4K on that previous round. But then when it comes down to, hey, I need a frag outlay, he's going to drop numbers for sure. So he's already now at 19 and 14 on the top of the scoreboard in this server. Leviathan on back into a form where you are expecting for them to be one of the top dogs going into the playoffs and potentially one of the top 3 teams going to represent the Americas in London.
Best time to peak is when you're hitting that playoff form. Make sure you get it at the right time. They've definitely shown that a few of the members are hitting. Loud is hitting as well. It just seems like 1 or 2 are hitting and they don't get enough for that day, for that moment, that map. Here, trying to write a different story as they're only 2 away from evening up the map versus LEV and possibly pushing us to a third. All the cards on B for this round.
B-side hit again. This is Leviathan going to have to react one more time on a flood retake. Blows his responsibility pretty much as they're moving in here is just to stay alive towards the arches. He's been doing that consistently just to make sure nobody's flipping the map against the lurk, against the flanks.
Spike planted.
The last few rounds have been the successful post-plant defuse from LEV. They're just giving this space up, feeling that retake is comfortable. They've split the site twice, creating that lane in mid as one wall falls. They still haven't get...
Nice shot.
He's actually able to start it off. And Verdi too, as Loud is now going to start moving forward for the kills, making sure LEV cannot trade each other. Cowanzine throws out the ultimate to cause chaos, and Loud shut down LEV's timeout.
Erday was still able to win that fight. Sato was actually double flanking with Spike in the first place, and he's talked about it. Erday said, "I'm feeling stone cold."
Yeah.
And Erday said so.
This is timeout wars right now. LEV call one, Loud call one. It is successfully grabbing each other their round, but it's wasted now. It's up to the players. Let's see, owner wants an answer to that. Wants an answer to that. 10 to 11 now. Loud creep ever closer. Luke Show with an ult. Verdi with an ult here if they want to activate, and it looks like that will be on A. They're wasting no time. They are going to meet Neon in the back, though. Been hot for the series and starts off with one to get himself to safety. Is he chased? He is not.
What he's got to do is stay alive now for the rest of the team to fall back. The Owl Drone to try to clear towards the wall. Verdi trying to find his timing.
Delay. Delay, delay is the name of the game. Neon will not be stopped. Finds another one on the site with the help of Blows. Loud with good trades, though. They light up a bit of the kill feed, but it's still looking dim on this one. Neon gaining, oh, they can't trade together. They're still on opposite sides of the pillar, but Eriday's able to find the back of Blows. And now he goes forward for a few more. The timing is perfect. The timing's perfect. The running helps him out even more as he gets the double star. This should be a kill. Oh my God, the flick from Neon. Can he do no wrong? Spike, the spike though. The time on the spike, it's gonna be for LEV, a 12th round at .25.
Was it so close for Erday to be able to clutch a 1v2, .25 remaining on that defuse. What a nice little opener by Neon again. That was a nice try though by Verdi, right? He was trying to find that timing, got hit by the L drone that had to be quick from Cowanzine too. They tried to answer it back from the Reckoning on the post plant. That was thrown by Luke Show, but we fought back with aggression for Leviathan. We didn't care about the ults. Yeah, that was a close round for Loud to keep it and to stay in the game, and now backs against the wall. Thankfully, still weapons to work with, though. This is map series for Leviathan to guarantee the #1 spot in the alpha group of the stage 1 of the VCT Americas.
Still playing one on-site in A. You'd expect King to drop back here. Again, this post-plant game they have has been so deadly, and Loud's going to try to activate post-plant right away by getting in. They've identified one towards mid-side, but the site gets split vertically again, and they have to play towards mid, towards spawn. No, they're moving forward.
Yeah.
They don't want this play again.
They're just fighting. They want to try to break the Owl Drone too. There's that peak.
How far can they get? Erday with one on the spike, but they know moving forward is the name now, and Loud gets 3 more instantly. That's exactly what they wanted to see. Pushing forward, they get another round from themselves, 11-12 now.
Yeah, what I'm really liking so far here is when you're watching this Harbor getting more and more picks towards Breeze, they try to react and isolate, right? You're trying to throw high tides to contain within the site, and the high tide is supposed to slow you down to go through the walls. But when you come out here for Loud is not only Verdi disrespecting the wall with the high gear, with the speed, but there's also the double flashes being thrown by Darker so that you could support Verdi for this, 50-50 when it comes down to trying to clear sight. And then it also allows for the rest of the team to follow behind that and to just fight and not allow for Leviathan to retake and flood retake. Like they've been so good towards this B site, but not as well here towards A. It always came down to the wire. One that was a 1 versus 2 that unfortunately Erday couldn't clutch against Leviathan. But this time when they had a 5 versus 5, it was a nice hit by Loud to attempt to tie this game now in the last round of regulation.
Worried about the push. Catching Neon. I almost think Loud don't even need to activate off that. They should feel more comfortable to do something else. And they will. Slowly backing, make their way to the left side of the map here, knowing Neon is just a sneeze away from death.
Yeah. They need to change weapons here, to be honest with you. King does have a reckoning to work with. Huge kill by Blows. Huge kill by Blows on a backup B.
He's able to identify too. That's the side hit coming through. The relay boat's fed in. The utility confirms.
Wow.
Slid into it. Birdie goes down to Blows. He's so ready for the kill. And they are going to have to back up on this one. They find a few of their own kills. We see Sato going down there, but the 3v3 is what stands between Loud and a map 3 Lev and first place in the Alpha group. Loud.
10 seconds left.
Another one. Luke Show comes up huge on the transition between sites, and he might even have the timing that's going to have a King on the other side.
Doesn't hit.
Different plant.
Stays alive now on a 3 versus 2 for Loud. And you always have to respect this lurk that you had at the beginning for Luke Show, so everybody has to walk contact this time for Leviathan, so they're running that clock down. Advantage now for Loud to tie this game.
Weaponry in favor here, really, of the side of Loud. Just make these Vandals sing one more time, and you get OT out of regulation. There it is, there it is. Able to hit one. What is that, 25, 26 kills from him as Loud get into OT versus Leviathan.
Nice fight in the end. I mean, it was a nice attempt for Blows in the very beginning towards that back of the site. First nice big blow literally here with the Guardian, and then also stopping the Neon rushing through. You wouldn't want any other way right now for Loud. They had a very slow start at the beginning of this stage.
Yeah.
But with Airday joining the team, been starting to find a little bit of resurgence right now, making it competitive against the other teams that we currently see in the VCT Americas. Yeah, it was one-sided maybe on Vine, but it was an unpracticed map for Loud. This time around, though, on their most comfortable map, definitely making it competitive versus one of the top teams we currently have this stage in Leviathan.
Swap it again, Loud on defense. Lev hitting from that attack side. Verdi played this just a bit ago, and they're still not ready for it as he grabs 2 immediately in the first overtime round.
That's huge impact frags, and you're playing OT with a judge. That's so annoying.
That's a sit back and relax for the rest of the round. Let Lev make the mistakes from here on out. What a position to put the team in.
There are a little bit of gaps right now, though, right? There's no mid control from top window. You have to now jiggle peek for information here into the tunnel and also in mid double doors. And that might give that gap that Leviathan needs here to win some duels. Yeah, Verdi has done his job, but you still have Sato and Blows to deal with. They already spotted Sato.
Tempting the fights. They give that to him at B main, and still there. They goes for the trade amid the double, triple peak solo. As they have the team coming through, it's going to be no pressure to go in for a flawless first round of OT.
And not taking a lick of damage is Loud.
Flawless.
Verdi inside the smoke. Some damage should have happened on him. He's still running out of that at 150.
Very clean confidence here. It's that brain activation where they've had to have said to themselves, yo, we can win this game. Like, map 1 might have been map 1, as you were saying, but the team tells themselves that. They go round by round, and anything's possible.
And it definitely sees here from the side of Owner that he was desperately looking for that timeout. Because remember when he was putting his hands up trying to figure out what the hell was happening, that was like, what, round 20, 21? And there was no timeouts left for both of the coaches. So now that he has the opportunity to do so, he was actually counting on at least winning that first round of OT. But now it's a timeout not only to salvage this map, but also hopefully run away with it from here on out to close this on a 2-0. What we really see here is a little bit of a change of positioning once we get back into the server. We'll have this operator in the hands of Neon. And I think what really changes with him, instead of playing towards that middle double doors, I was saying a pivot somewhere else. The question is he going to play on the top here of Castle? Is he going to play on the top of Ladder? Or is he going to try to walk out for that pick? As we were mentioning here, a slower walkthrough from Loud at the beginning of these rounds when they're finishing towards this B site.
And it's looking good. If you look at the way the map went already, 9-3 for Loud, but that 3 was on the defensive side. They got through the defensive side of OT like nothing. Now they're onto the attack side where they were finding most of their rounds and might even feel more comfortable to bring this to a third map now. That mid pressure again does spot one, but it's not going to stop Lev from pushing.
Neon was definitely watching a passive angle at the beginning towards that B side and realizing here that there's no pressure coming out from Loud yet. They're gambling now that the hit will be coming towards this A site.
This is a rinse and repeat. Verdi goes to the pillar. They start pushing a little bit more back site. This time that seems to be stalled. Ping will kind of play into that. And yeah, Verdi's still going to try to take the space. Look how far Darker is as well, trying to push up a little bit. They're right next to each other in this smoke. They don't even know it. Neon's able to get 2 out of the situation. Insane. Lev now on top of this one, but just by a player.
He's 1 HP left.
I wouldn't even say by a player at that point. Okay, Sato goes down. It's even 3v3 as they get back in. The site's in a default hold here, front and back. Cowanzine on the spike. Still going to be the last one alive as they get in. Verdi makes it that much harder for Lev. Looking to push the third map. Cowanzine gets the first, and Verdi will get the third. 14-12. We're going to Haven.
After all, Loud able to close this second map. Again, one of their strongest maps that they've shown here at this stage.
Welcome back to VCT Americas. After an overtime win, Loud pushes all the way to Haven, a third and final map. Like Beth said, see if they can play spoiler to Leviatan's chances at a #1 seed in the group.
Exactly, because right now, if you're a fan of Brazil Valorant,
yes, sir,
you're not only behind Loud to try to get a victory upset against Leviathan, but also a win for Loud in this third map also puts MIBR in #1 seed in the Alpha group, right? And that would put actually Leviathan at 3rd seed. So no matter what, you're looking here for the Brazilian side of Loud to just get a dub.
That's a crazy mix-up.
Yep.
A lot can happen off a match. Verde and Luke show the thumbs up as they ready to go. What are you getting? What are you getting? Ooh, okay, okay.
Wow.
Sneak peek. Oh, there it is.
I was just about to mention this. I'd like to see Darker coming out here as a Phoenix going into this game, which is fire because if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I've seen this before where Darker has played some Phoenix or at least some duelists over in Challengers in the VCL and in the LATAM region. So this is nothing new for him at all here for the team. And it allows for also Loud to play the double duelist in the mirror composition, just like you have here for Leviathan. I think the only change is Erode. Does he want to play into the Astra or does he want to play an Omen instead? And Omen and Phoenix can still be very good on these flood retakes. That's the extra piece of flash that will be needed here for these fights to retake for the side of Loud. So it's okay which one that he chooses going into this very last map. That determines here the seeding for Leviathan. Will they get 1st seed or will they get 3rd seed?
That's crazy. That's crazy. Loud coming off that OT win are going to start on what to them feels like they're more comfortable. What the stats say is the more comfortable side. But they were stronger on attack for Bree, so we'll see if they can just fold that over and keep the momentum going. Pistol rounds have going back and forth. You see this man on your screen has been calling the shots all day, making the shots all day. Stone cold, as he said, ready to dive into this next one.
Yeah, stoic and staying calm too. And as you see, the leveraging the maximum timer until the agent locks in. So they can just focus going into the server now, and you will lock into that Omen as you saw on his screen. A big match coming up here. This is, probably not a lot of time of practice as well for Loud. Remember the last time they played this composition, I think they had a Vise in there. And only playing a solo duelist also on the side of Loud. So now this is a change. Yeah, some practice coming through here for the side of Loud that was very last minute to prep for this matchup here against Leviathan. And again, these two coaches going head-to-head. So Romanilli,
crazy
assistant coach in the past there for owner for the Leviathan Academy, now has a chance to even surpass his master. Surpass his mentor going into this third map and also trying to beat him into a almost mirror composition.
Yeah, said he always looked up to him. The way that you could know and grow as a coach through anything is something he always looked up to. It's gonna be crazy to see if that's the case here. 50% across the board for their pistol round win rate. Wouldn't have it any other way as we start our third map between these teams. Loud versus Lev. Let's see what they can make with an impact on the standings.
Yeah, we're adding a little bit of util as well inside of the defense for Loud to try to delay hot hands in the hands of Darker too and playing a bandit instead of Sheriffs for the duelist here.
scattering into the site right away. Lev able to take down a few members as Loud retaliates, stepping back in, but it's just not enough. What a save, as everybody on Lev has each other's back.
Hard now for Airday to really try to win this 1v4. Two of them are very healthy for their side of Leviathan. Just a quick push that you saw there on the attack for Lev. Couldn't slow them down well enough.
Just trying to make some opportunities, that's all you can ask for. If we'll find a 1v1 on the left. Ooh, just a haircut for Spike on both sides, and he will go, Airday will go down rather. A pistol round again for Lev from this attack side. I don't think they're gonna let up.
Housen really got caught off guard. That was the biggest thing. I think if it wasn't for a recon dart towards that wall, they were trying to throw that side smoke too so they could get some sprays if he's able to ping some players at the same time. The good news at least is that Sato wasn't able to farm as well in this Phoenix as he did on Bind previously, so he still has a lot of orbs needed before getting this run it back, but he's still investing into this Phantom. They're still trying to take this long C control, as on the other side though, Furia trying to slide down.
Everybody shook up on the util for this one, and Lev comes out on top. Man, the chaos that goes into these fights that you have to understand and get out of to make your play is insane right now. And Lev just absorbs everything that comes down that C long side as it's a low buy from Lev, or Loud rather.
And a kill there, win easy. Right now, Neon's trying to back up. He should back up so that Sato could pick up an orb. He could run up towards the C site for a plant. So I love this patience that you're currently seeing from Neon staying alive. And there you go. King goes for that pick. Meanwhile, we did get the plant on that C site. So making sure here that the protocols for Leviathan are there to give their chances to turn around this bonus round. And because you're 2 orbs away, though, for the side of Leviathan, I'd like to continue to see this type of aggression. This walk down from Loud.
Yeah.
This time with weapons, it could really stall that push. And the orb control attempt here from Leviathan.
We'll keep track of the Chamber v Chamber matchups, too, as we go through this. Already saw one of them. And Neon 3-0 here to start off. Same thing with Spike. Fast to the sewers. Oh my God, drowns him in that one. Luke Show instantly down by Spike. And this space Lev is gaining just causes Loud to go into util mode.
Enemy mark.
Trying to close that gap to see if they can catch him off guard. Hot Hands makes it all the way back into spawn. Avenues are created to enter the site. Flash actually a little awry, but still able to work off. It doesn't bother Sato one bit as the rest of the team also comes in.
Doesn't even care about the orb either. Big flash coming out from smokes and walls. He catches players off guard and he just laser beams the anchors inside the A site. He had no choice but to save this time around here for the IGL of Loud. Yeah, the floods that you currently have from Leviathan continues to be very good. I mean, you saw it from the aerial view. What Loud was trying to do to stall here, that big push. They threw Hot Hands right in the middle of the fast lanes so you could isolate fights and try to force the players into the left side graffiti where they could maybe crossfire at that spot and play around the turtle smoke. But they didn't have a chance to set up. Just the flash was too good, too easy.
That's such an aggressive attack too. Spike just into sewers. That's basically the confirmation on the run the strat, right? You do find that one in sewers, it goes right away. You don't, might take a little bit longer, but Lev has been getting a lot of those kills that continue their strats right off the bat. Yep. Oh, couldn't even get the rendezvous out too.
The reaction from Spike is huge as well. Because he was looking at a top if anybody was playing high ground, and then just flicks down for the instant headshot onto Luke Show.
That's where he was pistol round.
Yep.
Already.
At the end of the day, I could still respect the position that Luke Show takes. You talked about the rendezvous that's available there for Luke Show to escape, but at the same time, he is that type of player that could flick back and take down a sliding Neon. And after the amount of rounds that we've currently seen that's currently being played in this whole series, you definitely saw that Spike and Neon are warmed up from that second map of Breeze. You just mentioned it. It's supposed to be a brawl coming through right now for these two teams because of how it looked in terms of momentum for Loud to be able to close out their map pick of Breeze. But at the same time, man, you got to face against some crazy firepower that comes out here from Leviathan.
Yeah, you mentioned at the end before we went to break that LEV is definitely in a position where playoffs is perfect time for their skill to be peaking right now. The way they're playing their maps, who is coming online and when, and a lot of time it's more than one person in a game, which is really allowing them to capitalize on advantages, roll the momentum as to where Loud is having that one player, maybe Ariday's fragging 26, but there's not a finish to that round that was really great because the 1v1 didn't go somebody else's way. It's really tough to be able to measure all that on a full eye test on every round, but or what's happening in the rounds, that is. But yeah, LEV just seems to have the answers.
There is definitely a change of tempo after this timeout. Look at Luxio already moving up. And he's pretty much playing a one and done here. No place to TP out, way too far out of range, but it allows at least for Loud to get some good map control, good information.
Yeah.
Deploying drone.
Until there.
Sourced out. Nice little save there. Oh! Neon. Short or long, still hitting these ones. Actually takes quite a bit of damage, I say that, and he just gets a miss onto Verdi, quickly moving in and out of that garage area. They're still pushing, though. The space is prepared. Blows. Sits darker down right away. And they still have this space for Kawanzin.
That's a nice try. That was a 145 there from Verdi to almost take down Neon. That's a headshot at that distance. But does not confirm the kill, and Neon's just going to stay back for the rest of the team to protect him.
Last player standing.
Still an eco round, yeah, trying to do as much damage as he can. Verdi that repositioned himself all the way from garage out towards A long, and fortunately, there's still a trip up there.
I'm out of here. 10 seconds left.
Gun for him.
Spike planted.
A little bit of a position. And honestly, just around to kind of get the aim online. Beautiful, sees that, and the aim is coming online. This is exactly what he needs to see as he gets himself on the board, ready for more.
Just gotta move quick to tap that spike, though. I think you have to force out a grab well. You have to force out both the peek from Sato.
Grab well. Oh, now it's been so long. He's checked every angle. He doesn't know which is the right one to go back to just yet, as he sees it's going to be Sato. Or I say rather, King playing with him long. As Sato comes around from spawn. Leviathan waltzing through these rounds right now to take him away from Loud.
Yeah, but we just talked about econ damage, right? That you wanted to see coming out from Loud. So great little shots from Verdi. Another quick flick from Neon. Just reminds me of that previous map where somehow in a small smoke that we couldn't see, unfortunately, on camera, but that had to be impressive. A close range op shot to a shorty kill on a 180 or something like that. This reaction time from Neon has always been insane to stage.
Yeah, he is so ready for any play presented to him.
Joke's over.
And that's what Loud needs right now. They're going to be forced to see what Sato's run it back has for him. Kawanzin goes to fight it straight up at the top side of sewers. Going to cost him his life here, but nice flashback will regain sight. Damage is already done, though.
And that was a fake the whole time. Luxio had the line to look down towards the garage, but because on top of that you get a kill from the running back of Sato, it forced to rotate out, so that's an open C-side, sorry, for LEV to plan into.
Almost ready to play off the paranoia, but it looks like LEV is even more ready to stop it from coming into the site. We gotta love the fact that Loud is just flooding back in. No respect to how much space LEV could have grabbed there, and that's exactly the pressure Loud needs to create. Oh, Sato. Oh.
Spike down B.
It's got the wall up too. This should allow for the plant to happen. They got inserts at the same time. Nice backstab by Spike. Great mid-rounding call from King too. They were both, and all of them actually stalled by the blaze wall thrown on the defensive side by Darker, which got them off the plant. Being LEV, sorry. And then they were able to pivot back towards this B side because of the lurks, the late lurks that you had, the inserts. It was actually King walking up there towards that front B site.
Yeah.
It was easy for Sato to move through and get those picks towards that back of the site.
So what is the answer for Loud? Even being kept under 5 kills now, being pulled around the map. It just seems like they have to react to everything Lev's doing. Yeah, this one they're definitely going to have to react to. Tough spot now for Luke Show out towards long. And Cowanzine's going to activate, actually, as they try to convert this one now with 2 up. What a play inside the site.
That's the reason why Cowanzine was getting caught off guard in these moments, because he's not afraid to go for these type of picks and these type of fights.
Spike down A.
King here's couldn't get out of the relay boat in time. He's trying to get the dodge in, but Loud. Verdi is there. Overdrive to secure it, and it's a thrifty for Loud.
A big round and salvages the op 2. Huge round from the anchoring, as you just mentioned, Riv, from Cowanzine inside that site. Scores his first 2 kills of the map with this one here. Against a spiked overdrive. And then right after to the default spot.
Sick little behind the back flash there. They throw for both of them to peek out a default.
Yeah.
Nice job by Loud to grab a thrifty for themselves here.
Owner couldn't be mad about that one, man. That just came down to just shots that were insane from Cowanzine.
You say, okay. You get a few of those. Push down again from Loud. Staying active, proactive. They just want to make sure that Lev knows angles aren't being held, they're being pushed around the map right now.
Yeah, the issue is right now is you're breaking trip, you're trying to fake your presence, that you're taking control of this long seaside, but a lot of teams these days don't care about that. They're just going to re-clear it as a group, and then once they realize that this space is clear, they can still go for a full side exec, despite the early map control that you've taken on defense.
Calling their bluff. Said you're not going to stay and you're giving up the site. A beautiful call here from Lev to get back in, but this is a full force of Loud. Hunter's Fury to break some crosshairs, cause some chaos. Spike says this is easy enough. Let me just take a few shots. Lev with 3 already on the retake, and it's Cowanzine left. Oh, Neon more than ready. 6-1 for Lev.
We're preemptive as well for Loud. You saw once Lev made it into the site, they tapped onto that spike to try to bait out the Hunter Sphere in the first place. And instead of waiting for the second tap onto a spike attempt for the attack side, they tried to find a timing, which is Loud, to just Hunter Fury, try to go for the Blaze Wall, Hot Hands, and flood back in.
Okay.
But they had no information going through, unfortunately, because one's throwing the Hunter's Fury, so they don't have like a recon owl drone to see who's really positioned on the C site. Leviathan just had the upper hand all along.
State of the game read. Spike, rinse and repeat. Ooh, shorty for Luke Show. He wanted revenge on that, and it changes it. They still decide to activate on the strat, though. It's something we considered last round as they continue to move forward, and that's not expected. They haven't been peeking until the util fully comes through. Loud starts to switch up the pace, and it throws Leviathan off. One last kill. King actually looks for the crown on this one. Going to expect there to be somebody coming around from behind since it's been quite a bit of time. And he knows where one of them is. So yeah, a minute to play. He's going to go ahead and keep looking.
You've already closed the gap, though, for Loud. You also have a trip in front of that B site, so they kind of really know that King has no choice but to try to re-hit towards A. Luke Show's trying to play that distance, which is why he's holding all the way back towards the spawn in case King wants to walk through. Then it's the op line on that, right? He has a total fuss to work with. And even if you're throwing this smoke for King on that right side of that A link, they already know it's a fake because of Erday's position.
This is going to be looming in the minds of Loud. Tex was able to take the 1v4 against him last series they played on Haven. Will it be able to be the win here for Loud, or does King repeat history? They're giving him a bit of time. They're not going to be able to come in together as much. Erday makes the first move, still giving space to Luke Show because it's just that shorty for now on the push through. It's going to have to be a swing from King. He's choosing the outside. He knows it's going to be a peek, but Luke Show gets the crouch, the kill, and a very much needed round from Loud.
Well done in the end, too. It all came down to just Erday walking up, trying to make sure that he clears towards that long A side, that King's not falling back towards that spot. Re-clears the sewers. Once those two lines are clear, you know he's playing towards hell. So he jiggles to confirm, allowing Luke Show to take that space. Yeah, nice little teamwork in the end.
Starting to battle back. Keep it off of a 9-3. Loud can make it the 6-6 if they can keep it from here. The defensive side was a little shaky for them last map, and it's going to be when you're playing on Haven and Lev gets to choose where they want to go. But the push forward from Loud here, figuring out where Lev is, seemed to work quite a bit.
No tight angle this time. Oh, but Neon's always ready.
Going to be tough to push the operator anytime. And Luke Show goes down, but Spike's already in position. Moving forward, Verdi doesn't even expect that link to be covered yet. And you just see the kind of timing and the state of the game that Lev is creating for Loud to play in. Sato's still there, as they can back each other up hopping into the site. They're everywhere, and Loud is not expecting it.
Yeah, both teams just trying to find their timings there, right? It all came up in favor of Leviathan, unfortunately. But it was a two-prong attack for Leviathan. One watching that push, but the double duelists were already moving towards the A site. Link to punish to rotate from the A site to B. You can respect the attempt of that hero play from, I think it was Darker moving in. But at the end of the day, couldn't really get that pick. Couldn't deny the Spike moving in. And around then comes back in fear of LEV one more time. And again, just too quick moving up on the haystack.
That choice, too. Yeah, we'll opt towards garage this round.
Yeah.
Expect the peak.
And sorry, it was Airday trying to move in toward that B site to try to get that timing, so unfortunately still misses it. Did some damage there onto blows, but just couldn't confirm the kill.
Loud again from garage and from long. A little bit stronger this time. Neon still gets a kill out of the situation.
Silver lining is you got the turret, right? So if you want to try to re-push down that lane later on, you have the chance to do so for Loud. But yeah, it was a great punish in the beginning from the op shot from Neon. Verdi, unfortunately, out of the equation very early in the round when just tried to go for the double pinch of A long into the long B push for Loud.
Lev just playing this situational game where they'll get some kills and then make Loud feel like they need to make the move. Peak, you think we're coming up? They're just buying so much time before they crash the site here.
And all they got to do is wait. They drone to make sure nobody else is pushing out towards that window. Right now for Loud, they went for that smoke front B site so that hopefully you funnel everybody back into a last second push towards the C site where this flash from Darker could do some good damage.
This time Loud choose correctly. It's going to play right into their favor. And they're confirmed now. Cowanzine's able to make quite a bit of ground here, so all they have to do is look down long. 2-3 kills. 2 of them are for Lev, though. Not what Loud wants to see. The flash from Sato comes through to perfectly clear the back sight. And now they're worried about Cowanzine.
Spike planted.
Don't even know where he is yet. The smoke clears and he'll have multiple eyes on him already. There's the clear. Blows gets it. 8-2 for Lev. They buy the time at long and are still able to take the site out of a covered C by Loud.
Yeah, with 3 players there, the only thing they had was that curveball from Darker. There was no paranoia to help out from Enerday, and this is what hurts. The recon to the fast lane. So the fast lane nullifies the flash from Darker, and then the recon that was thrown from Blows allows for the wall bang to happen from Leviathan. They had the right numbers, they had the right read, but unfortunately couldn't counter the util because everybody was so focused on trying to go for a trap play that there was nobody responsible to break the dart. And speaking of fast plays, nice little curveball on the top by Sato. An assist to allow Spike Zine to get the slide kill.
I mean, why wouldn't you try to go for a little rendezvous play? Everything's been garage focused for the past few rounds. Yeah, there was going to be an op from Neon that got an early kill, but that's exactly what Lucio was trying to headhunter out of the way and meets a Phantom. The way Lev is switching up, what Loud thinks they're going to see is just crazy.
Lev going back to the tried and true. They just know that now on a 5 versus 4 that the defenders have to try to make some sort of play. So they're just winning back towards the spawn, knowing that they're facing against an anti-eco pretty much at this point. Guardian's the best weapon you have for Verdi. He's trying to be the contact on that ramp, jiggling with the Guardian, and once he finds contact, if he finds contact, Darker flashes out, and then it just fled through. But it's the call now for King to walk out towards this C site because Neon hasn't seen or heard anything for the past minute.
Well, it's definitely a good idea for the teams watching LEV that
30
they are
seconds
going to
left.
be a pick-focused team if you are playing slow. Just op on op, trying to source out an early kill somewhere before they move. And just Owner is not afraid to slow these guys down before they get aggressive again. It's really throwing teams off guard. Loud for sure here as they try to retake the site. Everybody from spawn, it looks like it's going to happen that way as the wall goes down.
I think you want Kawanzin to at least run in.
Here it is. Few hit. Relay Bolt is actually just going to harvest these kills for LEV. Sato's able to get a few. His blows takes down Kawanzin on the jump, and Darker now looking for a few. He's going to have a really tough time getting long and getting safe as Neon takes that shot, gets that kill, and a 9-2 for LEV is the scoreline.
Yeah, dying to Spike, dying just at all it would be the name of the game there for Loud, because you need the econ to stack up in the next round with the bonuses. But I think Kaladin dying is the most important thing because you have the Hunter's Fury to work with for the next round.
I am so.
He's doing that as Phoenix.
I'm still running around doing things, don't worry. And look at that, Spike has 12, Sato has 12. They're continuing to cycle ults. They're helping each other out. They're behind each other. It's just working so well.
Yeah, those are the heavy hitters from Leviathan. And it continues on there with that pick from Neon. And right now, the heavy hitters that you usually have here for the side of Loud is going to have to be Kaladin and Luke Show. But so far in this map on defense, they've been shut down so many times on the A lines.
Yep. Spike down, C.
Good clear by Darker. They have a good idea that the round is slowed with that spike down, but that's not the case. Kaladin's trying to figure out where they're going as Darker still has that cubby control.
One enemy remains.
They've made this round really weird for the side of LEV right now. Beautiful job by Loud to get into positions that just throw them off. And they got to hit the shots too. It's something that Loud's been kind of going wayward with in the moments they're called upon. It starts to count here for a very much needed third round. There it is, 9-3. They do collect it. And Loud will be able to secure that one.
Kaladin really wanted to get that kill. Not let Sato escape there on that last round. But what a big round by Darker. Being that second line, pushing down that lane after they lost Luke Show in the first place. And look at the picks he gets. Keeps the fight alive now for Loud for the second half.
9-3 first half coming into Haven in favor of LEV. We'll see what Loud has when we come back after this.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Jump up, chicken down, go. Turn up, gonna pure flow. Na na na, clap it down. Rock hat to spin it round. Move fast, gotta walk, no. Stop good, got you in the head. Hey ya, lay the floor. Right here, right now, one more. Move fast, gotta walk, follow me, no stop. Move fast, gotta walk, follow me, no stop, Move fast, gotta walk, no stop, good, got you in the head. Hey ya, lay the floor. Right here, right now, 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 one more.
Welcome back. It's VCT Americas on your screen. Thanks for joining us. It's great to be here today. We are in the third map of our first series, and LEV is on the cusp of locking in that first seed in the Alpha group. They get taken down on the second map. Loud found their footing, but again seems to be slipping as LEV take full advantage of that and run with the momentum to that 9-3 first half.
Yeah, you can definitely see here for Loud that the map pool still being worked on, right? Blind maybe because it was a choice from LEV for their strategy going to playoffs. Ray is still looking pretty good, but Haven coming out with a new comp. So you're testing the waters here. knowing that you're still guaranteed a spot to go to playoffs, so why not just try things out against LEV here as they tried to go for the triple peak for Leviathan and orb control for Sato.
Yeah, still
Works
protected.
Out. Yep.
B is covered by a trap for LEV. They continue to kind of rotate around, and with long control here for blows, they start to focus more towards the side of the map that Loud want, and that's going to be the activation. The go button is pressed as King gets a little bit of burr. He's getting out safe though. Loud are going to feel good, but can they get into a position that makes it feel better? Spike says no. Oh my God! LEV is just, what? Are they coming through the walls and not around them? Luke Show fires back though with the headhunter and gets 2. And they have to resort to find blows. Now what a save here for Loud to come back and still be a number up in this.
One-way smoke, that's huge. That gives that timing for Editor to play that 1v1. Lucio's just trying to run that clock down.
Nice patience. No kills, no plays. Wait for the double peak if you even need to get it. And they're still hearing not half, so easy here. Day, a lot of patience. And there it is. They find it. Sun was in his eyes. Luke Show gets 3 on that one, and Loud start off with that pistol round.
Yeah, at least he got a dink. I guess we'll take that one there for the attempt of blows.
Dang, the retake speed was adjusted so well by Loud. Got to give credit there for them to be able to react to this finally.
Yeah, gotta love also the recon being thrown from the A site to C. That's something I've seen Poppin also do with Envy when they were playing on the map of Haven. Trying that out, and the thing is it's not necessarily always going to get you the best success rate because of the neon fast lanes and how you scale through across that, but this time it definitely did work to allow for a Spike to get a nice little second kill.
Oh, I was going to say 5 alive, ready in C, but that is not the truth. Loud quickly dropped them, and a flawless round goes their way.
And Darker's already going with the run it back for the bonus round. So this turns out to be pretty good for Loud for the last 2.
The map that Loud came back on was a 9-3 to push it to OT. Yeah, already 11 and 13 for Darker. We'll see if they try to flex this into garage, clear space, or use it only as a last resort. Looks like more C. They're going to condition C until they feel like Lev is uncomfortable in it.
Yeah, let's keep hitting it. So far, Leviathan only has King playing defense on that side. He's also playing it solo. If you're looking at the positioning of where they're putting the trademark this time around, is to hold a solo A site. Double walking down towards mid. Lucio could get the kill, though.
Should have been a kill, honestly. They now start to push around. Darker clearing with the run it back. It's 3 big informational players there for LEV in garage.
And the post plant util. Darker still has 2 flashes as well, so he's going to have to play towards the default boxes to try to help out the back of the site.
Paranoia just absolutely shuts down Spike's vision, so it doesn't work like they want to do coming into the site. That doesn't matter. Sato's Phantom is working. There's still 3 Loud members, though, and they're keeping this safe with Erde in sight. He is not even going down, so this isn't a problem. Looks like they're going to try to get a save on these guns here and even take down Sato. Erde is hungry for more.
Big round from Erde. Guardian for the 3 kills, denying the run it back from Sato, too. As after that double kill, the 2-piece, spamming back towards that boxes, allowed and gave a chance for Leviathan to start flooding back. And not until these shots that came through that were crisp, not only from Erde, but also from Verdi. A bonus round is converted for Loud. And also you're denying the run it back from that previous round from Leviathan, so that's going to take a couple of rounds again for Leviathan to build that up. And yeah, it almost seems a repeat from what we see from Breeze. As soon as you're seeing some great starts from Loud, Owner really wants to stop that right away, so calls out the timeout. And honestly, I can't really say that there's big reads that you can really take or something you can really digest from the past 3 rounds here from Loud. It was simple, right? You won pistol, then you went into an anti-eco that you're just waiting for where the push could be. You denied that. So really, I feel like the conversation now for Owner with the rest of his team is just to calm things down for the next couple of rounds too, and making sure that we're aligned when it comes down to these flood retakes, or at least into these team fights. Because macro-wise, again, there's not much that we've seen from Loud with this compositional change, right? They're playing that mirror comp with the exception of the controller.
We've seen the way Erde wants to play. That's for sure. Somebody coming in and so quickly, fragging out, being the front of plays, not worried about IGLing in the middle of the map to get the information by himself, and just seems to be really fluid with the calls. It's just I think they're missing the aim a bit as the day started versus LEV that's now coming online. So let's see, out of this timeout, can they shut down LEV's call once again?
Nice shot.
That'll be a start.
I was going to say the best thing they have for Leviathan right now to open things up is probably the Headhunter and the Sheriffs from all Neon blows in Sato. And now Luxio's able to get the nice quick flicks and give Neon a taste of his own medicine.
Safe space towards A that they try to gain while really playing the mid of the map. And LEV gives up nothing. I think it was
Teleport's ready.
Owner either saying don't go as far forward and stop playing as aggressive as we do on our extremities, right? And wait for the retake, or hold sight, because when they lost the sight is when it really gets tough against Loud, so it is to play in sight here. Bucky for Spike on default. Blows will be watching the right, but it's the shift strategy once again, so this becomes a little harder to read. Oh, there's the timing. He turns around just in time, but Luxio still has the aim down the scope. Sato is able to repair what happens in sight, though. Two left. The blind is not going to allow him to find. And yeah, Loud's just coming through to get their plant, get their kills. King's going to have to do something crazy out of here to get a few. Wait for this smoke to clear. And they'll be forced to go into the next round, wondering if Loud's going to maybe just go back towards C again.
A nice little adaptation for Loud. I was scratching my head a little bit here to see Loud walk back towards this A site. Because when they did add that pressure on the front B site, you heard the Neon, right? Spike was jumping across and also landed the last footsteps towards that A link. So you would expect here that LEV is pivoting towards a stack on that site. But the walk contact, the full walk into the site, really allowed for them to open it up and to get the round.
Useless individual.
Grab it and run. Can't ask for anything more out of that round. A nice shot by King to get one. And Loud pick up a fourth in a row here. Very nicely done. The attack side, instead of Breeze, was really something that got him going. They're able to work off these little picks. Whenever Luxio has that operator, it slows them down, but only until they get that first kill. They're being able to make the Outlaw work to get them going a little bit more.
So this is where the timeout shines. The same trademark that you're currently having placed here on this A side to allow the Sova to play solo over towards A.
Trap destroyed.
Good on him to do that with the, was that a shock, yeah?
Yeah. Just starting to map up a little bit. Getting LEV out of their original positions. You can already see how much movement they're putting into this. Still feel comfortable, however, with King on C, but he'll play his life. They have really zero map knowledge right now of where Loud can be. It'll easily play into their favor as they walk up. Run it back one away, and that's going to be the plant. So this would have been the round specifically the timeout was for, right? I mean, maybe a little bit of talk about the low buy round LEV just had, but this is the round, and it looks like Darker continuing to pause that Spike retake is found out by Neon. They know the op's there. Spike, he caught a paranoia in his face. It didn't allow them to get the vision they wanted on the site last time. It's all about the timing here as Loud puts 2 on the board, 3 there, another one for Darker. And he's going to push in for a third one right there, rather. Erde gets that other one, and Loud find themselves another kill in a round where LEV seems to be happy to give up the site, move around to the other side, but it's not working for them.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like the timeout was to talk about how do you flood retake, how are the util is going to help out here. They tried to flash with the recon, but Darker just gets great position by spamming through the smoke. And they're all just kind of like funneled going into the meat grinder. This is the second time that they're trying to do that. And then they're just getting crossfired and grinded down. And yeah, that calls the timeout right away. And you mentioned it. they are the game plan, at least at the beginning here for Leviathan for the macro, is to play, you know, one guy towards A, one guy towards C, soft side, play the retake if you're seeing the pressure that's coming through.
Right, just be fluid between sites.
Exactly. So what's important is the coordination on the flood retakes, and for 2 attempts in a row on that C side, Owner was not happy with what he saw. And that's probably another time out again to say, how do we clean this up? What is missing right now for them to really cross that line of scrimmage back from the C side spawn to really get into C? Is it to have more proactiveness here for walking down so that they could come through garage? Should they get some flanks as well? Because you're also only playing against a chamber. I'm saying only because you have an opportunity to walk down and get some aggressive lines to maybe punish Luke Show or try to find that space for you to get the backstab and the late lurk towards the end when you're trying to play for these retakes. But I haven't really seen that yet from Leviathan here.
Yep. This is the part where Owner's like, I should not have taught them so well on LEV Academy.
But at the same time, it was also the similar issue that we've seen once when Lau was playing a defense as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So both of them having a hard time with their weaknesses here of the choice of the Sentinel player, of the choice of playing the op as well.
And Verdi sees that get destroyed. So he knows it's a confirmation. There's no trademark. Oh my gosh, the timing's so good, but they know! They trade blows. Big kill for blows, but big kill to get the site for Loud and the rest of the team. And that's an instant wall, insta-plant. The speed from Loud has picked up huge in these past few rounds. And they continue to then put the LEV, pressure on LEV for the retake.
And for twice now that you're throwing the shock darts to break that, that's some tape being learned here for the coaching staff of Loud.
That smoke just comes up, make the entrance even a little more awkward. Safety on top of the box with a very nice team smoke. Trying to give entry into the site, but it's not enough. They can't cover each other with the angles that are created on the side of LEV, and Loud say thank you very much for another round.
And I'm liking, too, that Darker is becoming a pain point as well, playing this Phoenix. Just trying to look back real quick. Like I said, I felt like I've seen him play a Phoenix or a Duelist before in Challengers, but I feel like this might have been his first Phoenix so far in his career. Don't quote me on it, but I feel like it is.
Well, it was like riding a bike. You can just put the Phantom back in the hands and take shots, and with Phoenix, you get to do it twice. So, yeah, he is 17-15 right now, feeling good. And we're seeing the little protocols now start to come out of Loud, but you got to say the same thing for LEV as they start off with the Hunter's Fury up the gut and a push on mid. Oh, catches the back of Darker too, so they get confirmation on more bodies heading over towards A. Oh, Loud is falling apart across the map.
Talked about aggression, that's what I wanted to see, so they actually were able to punish Luke Show, right? They took that aggressive line.
Trying to get more, almost worried about the situation when they don't need to be. They had the chance to sit back, get in sight. And now only 2 to cover the Praying Mantis formation as they look forward and back. It's not going to be enough for 2 kills. No, it won't. Blows and Sato end that round. A 10th for LEV as they get the defuse on here, and that retake game is coming into play.
It was a nice try, too, for Darker inside that site. I think if you actually got that one pick, I'm sure you fall back towards hell. You throw out your own run it back because now the chances are there for you to be able to win this because you're playing a 2 versus 3 instead of a 2 versus 4. But Sato getting his own value with his own run it back. And it allows here for Leviathan to come back for the retake and maintain the lead. They're 1 round away here for Loud to tie up, or to take the lead in the game, rather, in this series as well. But Leviathan to keep their foot down. And they're still trying to close this series. Again, on the line for Leviathan is the #1 seed. Losing this against Loud puts them 3rd seed.
Yeah.
It's important here right now for Leviathan to try to close this out. Sato dropping 20 bomb to try to make this happen.
This peak covered by the operator and Spike. This is the chance to finalize a kill, but still does nice damage to Eriday. 1 point away from 5 ults for Loud. They still have to work against the Overdrive and a Cosmic Divide on LEV, though.
And Leviathan at the beginning of this round are doing some similar conditioning. They're adding that pressure towards that mid line, and when they fall back, remember what I said before, some teams like to disrespect it and walk back and regain that space by walking through. But they actually had the position of Neon on the top of B, watching down towards that window in case somebody was walking across.
Sato would calm drone going towards sewers in that position. This is Blows jumping. Oh, he's got silent jump on. Easy peasy. Plays the anchor smoke. Doesn't get the ping that he wants on that, but he's still going to be a nuisance here in the site as Kawanzine gets 2 on the Hunter's Fury. Just burns down Leviathan with the ultimate, and that is going to be the site for Loud. You can already see Lev turning around.
I was surprised too. Again, another one of these rounds where I'm questioning. They were so good in throwing the consistent shock darts to break the turret, the trademark at the very beginning against Luke Show, but as they walk back towards the A site, it never broke it, so you can really go for a short to long split into the A site, but instead it's just a pop. Fast lane into the Hunter's Fury, and Kawanzine gets 2 picks out of that with the Hunter's Fury, and we'll take it. Loud now once again tie up this game. And trying to make sure here that on the side of Lev, they can't save these weapons, especially the Operator, but you definitely see here the last player is a little bit too far away. So the Op could still continue in the next round for Neon.
They play retake towards C, a little easier to retake. Trying to get into A is always harder, so they play in A, but it still doesn't stop. Loud right now. Just too good at taking this space here, and some of it being like the unknown space that, wait, they're that close already situation that you're just not expecting. And this, I mean, that's as clear as day. 2 on the Hunter's Fury is huge. Cleans that site up.
Remember, there's no more timeouts, too, for Leviathan, so Owner cannot clean up the act for Leviathan. It has to come down to the idling of King. And the amount of times here that they tried to go for that mid-control and punish, it worked for one of these 2 rounds, but now it's up to Loud to go for these fast hits on the extremities, and they're able to punish here Leviathan in these moments. And look at the change of tempo. King's calling, okay, let's go for the extremity control.
Yeah. And what does Airday say?
Let's go mid.
Let's go mid. One of the first times they're really pressuring it this hard. Loud is on such a run in this second half, and Lever just being left in the dust. Spike trying to come around from the outside, but it's still covered. Nice fast lane, but it's heard. Luke Show knows he's going to get chased down here, but he has the help. Ooh. Like one more kill might be another save if they even have the chance to. No, committed his blows, so he's going to be in the site. You can see Neon doesn't really want to give up the Operator.
Yeah, so it's blows alone just to try to do some damage.
Yeah.
This was definitely a save no matter what, right? It was a 5 versus 2. Man, Loud was everywhere on that map. The fast hits, the inserts that they had on the A side, there was no way here for Leviathan to really get their footing. And you can even see the game plan, trying to push down towards his long C side, trying to get some control towards the garage, but there was always a player there. So as much as Loud wanted to show, hey, we're going for some 4-1 split, some fast hits towards the site, this time around with the change of tempo, they kept some players behind and just let Leviathan walk into their crosshairs, and were able to capitalize on punishing the flankers. Very, very nice. Now it's Loud in a lead at series, in this series rather.
2 maps where we're getting 9-3 like halves. This is absurd right now. Either team finding their footing when they swap the side on that defense. It seems to be all about the punch and none of the block right now.
This would be an insane victory for Loud against Leviathan, and really a weekend of upsets that we have in the VCT Americas.
It's the anything weekend. Like a broken record saying that, as many games have been upsets. And Lev still getting into this push game towards long. And Loud want to test B again.
All right, right now with the eco that you currently have from Leviathan, they know the weapons is an op and a phantom. And in the mid mark, when they realize that nobody's really pushing or trying to find a lane with the Operator on mid, well, it's a call for Erday to say, let's go middle again one more time.
Goes. Clears it. Verdi keeps that in. Gets 2 kills. And yeah, they're going to have to push through on this. The op's going to make it difficult. Neon's trying to get the crouch peeks in. He does find one, but he's the only one left. Does that matter? Does it matter? Yeah, Luke Show's able to hit it from mid. 12 for Loud as they throw the series onto game point in their favor.
Match point.
I don't think I was ready to call this right now for Loud at map and series point against Leviathan. turnaround that Loud has shown so far. And Luke Shaw warming up here for the last few rounds is not what you want to see here if you're in Leviatan's camp. But again, the Brazilian fans are behind Loud and also behind MIBR. And they want MIBR to get this first seed going into the playoffs. And that push that you had previously from the up of Neon could still buy one here and could still have a duel de force if they're able to salvage this round. Round number 23 for Leviathan on defense. Lucio pulling out his own duel de force. And he loses that battle against Neon, which is huge.
He rendezvous back. Safety still towards A. It looks like it's going to be a fake. Are they actually going to full fake this off the ball? Meaning Verdi's going to throw lane, try and get himself into sight, or at least make his way up C. Double duel is fake. I'd buy it.
This is good, because if you're actually moving into the C site and you're able to sell the fake and even get a pick, well, actually, you could get the spike over to Erde and he just TPs into C site and they go for the plant. If not, the Polar rotates. They try to get the entry into the A site.
This is, we're seeing Erde at full call here, right? This is what he wants to happen on the map, and they TP right back, knowing the space was gained. It's going to take a little bit, though. This is the pressure moment where they have to fill this space with not getting pushed and making Lev still believe it's here. Yeah, they have to fight it. They have to push through and Loud get a few of them. Oh, it's getting real sticky here. They have to back up.
And they flashed everybody for them to fall back.
And Neon stay alive in the situation. They're still not playing. They have to play it 1-1. They've already separated from each other. They know where Blows is, and that's going to be Neon going down Loud.
It's up to Blows.
To put the finishing touches on here. What a series they were able to come up with to shuffle the group standings of Alpha around with this win. And it looks like Blows will try to get his hands on that spike. Knows they're in cubby. There comes the shot. Darker gets the 3K, and Loud takes down Lev.
Standing up and waving across the stage as Verdi and company of Loud get the upset win over Leviathan. Erde able to win against his ex-teammates of Blows and Neon. And they are walking out happy with Romanilli just bear hugging everybody.
He just caught like 7 feet of air off the stage and jumped into his team. that was a fist bump of fist bumps. What a game coming out of Erde.
Yeah.
Second map to third map, fragging out of his mind, calling out of his mind. The last round called the TP back over to C with a long run spike. Not something Lev was expecting, and neither were the attack sides coming out of Loud. What a fight coming from this squad.